Why are you late? You see, there are certain questions in life that just can't be answered normally. They just don't got the answers. You know what I mean? That's the live version. The true version is that the exporting of the recap took a little longer than we anticipated, and it's because Nathan tried something a little bit new on a portion of it today that I am a huge fan of. But hello, everyone. Hello, Zortex. I saw you just say that you're going to have to head to bed, so no worries, my friend. Do you secretly enjoy the 98 meme that you've created? This feels like a legitimate question. This feels like actually a really good question. I play it up intentionally, like 100%. However, I don't necessarily enjoy nor hate it. It doesn't bother me in any way. You know what? We'll leave it on this one. I don't know what this is. I think that it's fun for people to have something to jab at me with, if that makes sense. So, no, I intentionally play it up. I don't hate it. I know the way you heard that. You shush. Also, I'm laggy on screen because I'm deafened in Discord. I don't know why my Discord is being hella weird as of late, but if I am deafened or muted in Discord, my video gets all framey. It fixes as soon as I undeafen, though. So, it's weird. Hello, Joel. All right, guys, it's been 3.5 weeks. It's been a minute. But you know what? I'm excited. Let's see here. And we're also 20 minutes late, so I don't really have a whole lot of intro to give. Although I should say right now, I don't know. This entire month of June coming up, like, yeah, it's June now. This entire month of June is kind of all over the place for us, and the beginning of July. Sessions might be a little spotty. We're going to see if we still have time. Only 20 minutes late. That's not too bad for you. That's a good point. That's a good point. We're doing pretty good today. I'll tell you what. But, no, I'm going to... I don't know. We're going to have to play it by ear on how we do everything. Happy belated birthday. Thank you, Zortex. I appreciate that, my friend. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So. Oh. Let's do this. Let's do this thing. Oh, wait. Rachel's not here. We're not going to do this... Oh, wait. Rachel's here. Let's do this thing. All right. So, do I have everything open that I need? I need to make sure I have this open. One moment, please. Excusez-moi. Also, PSA. There is actually one thing that I do need to make clear to everyone here. I just updated Foundry, which is the VTT, the virtual tabletop.
Happy belated birthday. Can't believe it's been over a year already.
Well, apparently BitLady didn't feel like reading out. This is just crazy! And it doesn't sound very much like BitLady to do. Zortex, thank you so much for the Tier 1 resub for 13 months, my guy. I can't believe it's already been a year, too. It feels like it wasn't that long ago when we were doing Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and you were here for that entire journey. No, wait. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to preload it. There we go. But yeah, we updated Foundry, our VTT, and so because of that, there might be a few hiccups. The music, though, right? Happy birthday. I mean, yesterday. Thank you, Biddy. I appreciate that. Hello. How's it going? All right, chat. TJ rolled an 83. That's our cue to go. So, rough you too. Have a good day. Happy yesterday birthday. Have ice cream soon. What kind of ice cream? What kind of ice cream? Biddy, I actually need to message you at some point. I completely forgot. I don't have the Twitch chat actually doing something. 1 second. Bada bing. Bada boom. Vanilla something. You had me at vanilla. You had me at vanilla. That's really it. Birthday crown. All right. This is a cool song. I like this song. Denny Schneidermesser, everybody. For those in chat that don't know, Denny Schneidermesser, that's the music that I use. He has awesome stuff. Okay, here's where we play our favorite game on stream. What is chat saying? Or, Discord. Did it not work?
Damn.
Like the last year or so.
Just damn? That was more tame than usual.
We got all serious for a second.
Intolerance.
I do feel that life though. I feel that.
Pooping?
Oh yes, that's
Yeah, that poop life
Yeah,
though.
no, I feel that life. That's something.
You know how
The
me.
pooping sounds like a pretty stuffy one.
True.
Facts.
The worst feeling in the world, right? Damn. Ooh, Rachel done something with her hair. I like it. Yeah, Rachel, didn't you just get a haircut recently?
A little while back, but I've normally had my hair up, so
that's
it
right.
down. But thank you, so I appreciate it.
It's about 2 weeks ago, but like it's been 3.5 weeks since our last session. So
yeah, that's true.
A minute.
So it would have been different since last session.
Yep.
How far back does this go?
All right. Well, do any of the players have any questions for me beforehand? I was scrambling around a bunch of different things. I'm 100% sure I missed something. We're not worrying about it.
Oh, bet.
What?
I don't know. Oh, you have a question? Okay, 1 second. Biddy has a question. I need to hear this.
Bring it.
Hi, Jess. I love you. Not a question, but you know.
Wait, did I close the stream? Oh, shit.
Gee.
But how are you? That makes sense. Should combine our powers to help Nathan grow a beard.
Who the fuck said that? I accept this.
Oh my gosh.
If y'all want to, I will gladly accept your powers if it's gonna make me grow a beard.
All right. So, I need to figure stuff out. Give me a second.
Let's go, Biddy.
Better than mine.
I feel so much better now.
That was well done.
I appreciate it.
All right. So, do all the players have the streams open?
Yes, sir.
I has the streams open.
Yes, sir.
Sweet. But I'm gunning for your spot this
It's
wander.
Yes.
I'll try to see what I can do to make mine grow so I'm not beat by you.
I do remember the new keyboard.
Oh,
coming in
that's
clutch.
right.
That was
That's
hilarious.
I popped this out too.
Oh, all right. Without further ado, we're gonna start the recap, and then we're gonna get into it.
All right.
All right, chat. I've managed to keep this one to like 10 or 11 minutes, so that's not too bad. We'll see you in a few. The party stood atop the spire of rock that they had been seeking for nearly 2 weeks, staring out into the open sky ahead of them, just above an expansive layer of clouds. The nearly setting sun painted a picture of absolute beauty, as though you could spend hours simply sitting and enjoying the serenity, under different circumstances. Mavo'roh stood at the other end of the spire, waiting for the group to finish any preparations they saw fit. The group wasted no time and told Mavo'roh that they were ready, and Mavo'roh began explaining the purpose of this final trial. Mavo'roh spoke of the turning of eras and the events that shaped them, but most importantly that in every era there is a single monumental event that acts as the true catalyst, one that goes down in history. Mavo'roh seemed to be indicating that this moment, or perhaps what comes after, is one such event. Rain began falling from overhead and a distant thunder rolled. As Mavo'roh spoke, it became very clear that his purpose in battling the party was meant to unite them, to truly test their abilities, to ensure that they are ready for all of the hardships that lie ahead of them. Mavo'roh summoned 9 large stones from the ground behind the group that emerged from the stone with a cracking sound, as he gave one final challenge to the party, to prove to him that they were worthy. And with that, the final trial commenced. Mavo'roh summoned a massive wall of stone, splitting the battlefield in two, trapping Laren and May from the rest of the group. As Laren and May worked together to scale the wall and rejoin the rest of the group, May realized that the stones that had emerged from the ground contained letters on them in various languages. Laren and May reached the top of the wall and joined the rest of their party, who had already begun their assault on Mavo'roh, but so far with little success due to his near supernatural speed and strength. Mavo'roh barraged Gar with a flurry of strikes, nearly causing him to fall unconscious in a single rush. Zeos identified a few more letters, and May realized that the stone spelled the word persevere. May renewed the party's resolve, stating that they need to find the strength to persevere and endure in the face of overwhelming obstacles. The group united and began to turn the tides, and though there were a few close calls, eventually Mavo'roh stopped the entire trial, proclaiming that the group was victorious. The rain slowly faded, and the thunder became distant once again, as the party and Mavo'roh all caught their breaths. Mavo'roh proclaimed that the party had proven themselves well, and that it was clear to him why they were chosen. Mavo'roh stated that there is still much to be done, more memoriams to be found, and mysteries of the First Age to uncover. He then sat down on a nearby stone and invited the party to join him, to ask whatever questions they may have. Mavo'roh finally explained that the Memoriams were created as a failsafe, should the events of the First Age begin to repeat themselves, specifically the events that ended the First Age. Mavo'roh explained that he was a Deva of Milil, and that Milil was the one behind the creation of the Memoriams. May asked a simple question: why this group was the group that was chosen, which Mavo'roh said he did not know, but would be answered shortly. During the conversation, it became clear that Mavo'roh's knowledge seemed to primarily pertain to the Memoriams themselves and their purpose, stating that any knowledge of the specific events of the First Age was not told to him, partially in case he was captured, and also because it was meant to be told by the Memoriams. Mavo'roh asked where the party had found the first Memoriam, and the party explained that a shadow being was feeding on it when they found it. Mavo'roh realized the connection between a shadow being and the Abyss, explaining that the Abyss has always wanted to turn the material plane into one of the infinite layers of the Abyss, and that this could pertain to the events that ended the First Age. Mavo'roh explained that he has lived for many centuries, but the majority of his time was spent configuring the trials, and then simply waiting for the day that a Memoriam would awaken. As such, his knowledge of any secrets of the current world was limited. Gar asked him about the city of Besmedin that Belagron had told him about, although Mavo'roh didn't know anything new. Gar also asked if he had heard of the Isle of the Gods, and to this, Mavo'roh smiled, and said that it was information he was not allowed to share. May shared the multi-language document that she held, and Mavo'roh noticed a section that contained a mixture of celestial and primordial, and said that only someone that spoke both languages fluently would be able to properly decipher it. Mavo'roh gave the group one of his stone bracers as a reward for successfully completing every trial. He said that the journey ahead of them is long and full of secrets. He told them to be strong for each other, saying that it is not any one of them individually that makes them strong, but their bond as a group. Mavo'roh summoned a stone archway, seemingly leading into nothingness. He stated that the party had been chosen because of their qualities, and because of their strength, but also for another reason that they would learn through the doorway. Mavo'roh then summoned the Memoriam that had disappeared into the pool of water, and returned it to the party. One by one, the group walked through the doorway, until Zeus was the last one behind. And then Zeus did something quite out of the ordinary. He prayed to Sehanine for guidance on his journey, and for knowledge of this world and how it works, with the hope that this knowledge would be used for good. And finally, Zeus entered the doorway as well. The party emerged on the other side of the doorway into an unexpected sight. Tiled stone flooring, marble-like stone walls, a long, intricate red rug, and a double staircase leading upstairs. The group found themselves in a mansion, though they were not quite sure how. Dust covered the floors, and though nothing felt particularly decrepit, it felt very old. The party encountered two ghosts who introduced themselves as Gunther and Eleanor Berevan, the servants of the Midway Manor. As expected, the party had many questions, especially when the ghost referred to the group as planeswalkers. Gunther and Eleanor explained that this mansion was called the Midway Manor, and existed on the Half-World, the plane between planes, which Gunther and Eleanor said could only be accessed by planeswalkers. After proper introductions, Gunther and Eleanor gave the group a tour of the mansion while continuing any explanations. Gunther explained that they remembered nothing of their life before becoming ghosts, but they do remember being given the choice by Milil to pass on or to serve in the Midway Manor, and they happily chose to serve. Eleanor immediately began cleaning the excess dust, embarrassed for how the manor looked. Gunther explained that the mansion was built approximately 1262 years ago by Milil, and during the conversation it became clear that both Gunther and Eleanor did not realize that the beginning of a new era had begun so many years ago, and that planeswalkers were not nearly as prevalent as they used to be, if nobody has ever heard of them. Gunther explained that being a planeswalker is something that a person is born with, and that it must be refined over time. Gunther also explained that the mansion was built for Memoriams, though he didn't know what Memoriams actually were. During the conversation, May began playing a flawless musical piece on a piano in the living room, seemingly perfectly by memory, but stopped when she realized that it was drawing a lot of attention. The group continued their tour into a storage room / armory, and eventually into the dining room and the kitchen. Gunther explained that the manor contains very powerful enchantments, although certain enchantments on specific rooms of the manor have faded with time. He told the group that an enchantment could be taken from a magical item and used to repower the rooms if they should choose to do so. The group continued to the basement of the manor, where they discovered 8 inactive circles of teleportation. Zeus determined that with enough time, and once he learns to successfully create a circle of teleportation himself, he may be able to determine the location that some of them used to lead to. Gar realized that there were 8 circles, 8 Memoriams, and he thought of the Circle of 8, the ruling council in Rento, capital of Ador. The group contemplated paying a visit to the Linzor family of secrets, at some point in their home city of Rand, which also houses the Arcanium, where Zeus is from. The party then proceeded to the upper floor where the bedrooms were. Each member picked a bedroom, and Gunther explained that the bedrooms could be changed to each person's liking, from the arrangement of the room to the furniture to the aesthetic, ambiance, and even the view out the window. Each party member began thinking of what changes they would like to make when Zeus heard the Memoriam start chiming and an echoing chime coming from downstairs. The group made their way to the living room, and after some investigative work, May found the source of the echoing chime coming from behind a bookshelf. Upon looking at the bookshelf, etched into the back plate of each shelf from top to bottom were the letters F, A, C, E. Gar told May to play the notes on the piano in that order, and the bookshelf opened, revealing a hidden passage back down to the basement. In this new section of the basement, the party found a wide-open room with pristine, ornate marble walls and intricately designed floors with 9 raised platforms throughout, 8 of which had podiums on them, and one of the podiums was glowing with a symbol matching that of the shape of the Memoriam that the party held. Zeus placed the Memoriam on the podium, and the room began to take on a soft, magical glow, and the center platform began to show a living memory play out. The party saw a vision of a beautiful landscape, children picking flowers in a meadow, and a nearby majestic capital city. The group couldn't explain why, but they knew that what they were seeing was from the First Age. The vision continued into the city, where they saw a woman in a silver and cyan dress helping the common folk, who they learned was named Princess Adelaide Cyrenay. She was accompanied by a knight clad entirely in heavy armor, who was apparently her protector. The knight was known as Sir Malcolm, and during her interactions with the common folk, he saved the princess from a beggar attempting to kill her. A servant of the princess, named Sybil, approached and told her that her father had heard rumors of darkness on the rise, threatening to overwhelm the land, and had sent Sybil to ask Princess Adelaide to contact their allies on the other planes. Adelaide went to a building and caused a doorway to connect to a plain with dense forests and pastel colors in the sky in the middle of a sunset, and the vision ended. After the vision faded, the center platform changed again, revealing a landscape of endless sand and a tower composed of 3 smaller towers, all of different heights, placed in a triangular formation. The party immediately realized that this must be referring to the Turanai Desert, and could be where the next Memoriam is located. Eleanor entered the room and informed the group that dinner had been prepared. The party now sits in the dining room, their first real respite since their journey has begun. All right. Oh my god. Oh my god. So
I literally came to Josh after making the image. I was like, "Fuck, that does that look like that to you?" So hopefully, no one notices. Damn it.
Yep, exactly. Oh, that was amazing. All right. Yeah, seriously, the motion in that one this time around, Nathan, you have outdone yourself.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Pretty good.
I just need to know now. That makes rendering take a lot fucking longer. So I'll prepare for
So
that in advance.
a big thing with that is the more particles or things that you're going across is going to make the compression worse, because
Right.
there's more things updating on the image, which is going to take it longer to render.
Yeah. That there were different ways to produce rain. I just ran with the simplest way, which actually should cut down on render speed. I think it was in particular the wave effect on his cape, because I've used that one before, and that really fucks the render speed.
Yeah.
So
It turned out great, though. I love that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sham Stalin for the Spellborn song. I am in love with that song. It's so good.
I love it.
Oh, all right. But on that note, the party now finds themselves, after it's all said and done, you guys have made your way back up from the Memoriam room in the basement, back through the living room and into the dining room. You guys took some time.
Food.
You eating some
Hell
food.
yeah, brother.
You guys took some time, specifically with Gunther, before going in to eat any of your dishes, for describing to him any changes you would like done to any of the rooms. Didn't take very long. You kind of gave a brief overview, and after it was all done, he and Eleanor both have gone upstairs to take care of those changes, leaving all of you sitting down at an ornate table, very out of place given what you've experienced so far, being literally on carriage-drawn wagon, camping every night, and now you're in this manor with beautiful marble walls, stone floors, a wooden ceiling, probably stands 20 feet tall for the ceilings. And in front of you, there are 5 different plates right now. Eleanor has set out a plate with a colorful mixture of succulent elements. Under grilled sliced chicken and sliced avocado rests an array of romaine lettuce. Chopped cucumbers and tomatoes. Kalamata olives are sprinkled about, adding a salty flavor to contradict the sweetness and the sweetness of the ripe red fruit. Thinly sliced red onions center the meal, while there's a zesty lemon dressing that invigorates you. Every bite brings you to a tropical cove with clear crystal waters that you've never visited but find nostalgic. Shout out to Bit because she's amazing at writing food descriptions.
That was yours. That was
Yeah. I was like, hey, help me describe food. She was like, bet, I got you.
That was great.
It is a beautiful array, very Mediterranean looking for this very fresh looking salad with some chicken meat in it as well. This is your first respite since everything has gone on, and the mansion itself is not incredibly quiet. Actually, now that life has kind of come back and Eleanor has had the chance to clean it up, the piano seems to have a minor enchantment on it that plays subtle notes, nothing too intense, that kind of gives a soft, lively vibe to the mansion, to the manor.
Does?
Yeah, it's...
Shit, I'm gonna be opening that thing up later. Copy that.
Break it.
Mm-hmm.
Big note, your backpack module doesn't exist.
Yeah, I thought about that after the fact. It's not updated for this version.
Yeah. I have no idea what's in my bags.
Okay, so
Anything you need.
I'm assuming that's where you put all your magic items, too.
It's where a good chunk of my stuff is.
Okay, so we'll have to get that
I
figured
my
out.
Wand of Wonder, my Elemental Gem of Fire on me.
Okay.
It's just like everything else. Like I was thinking, oh, we no longer need food because we have food here. So rations, we're not going to need to carry as much. I'm like, me.
I have 7.
Hey,
So I was like, how many rations do I have? I'm like, where's my stuff?
Yep, that's my bad. I know that we're going to run into a few things like that since I just updated. So, yeah, we'll kind of have to adjust as we go along, but thank you for letting me know. But yeah, with all of you now sitting down at this big dining table, probably 10, 15 feet across, then the night essentially is yours.
Yeah. Drinking some alcohol.
with that, does that actually represent? When we look out the windows, does it still look like day right
It
now?
does
or
still
it
look like day right now.
Huh.
You guys have been here for about an hour.
An hour.
What
Okay.
time did we get here? Sorry.
Yeah. What time did I?
You got here, you know that the sun was beginning to set.
Okay.
Just saying something because we were above the clouds, right? So like,
Yeah.
if we were down at like sea level, it would have hit sun. Right?
Yeah.
So
You do see the remnants of a sunset because Gar asked Gunther to have the windows actually reflect the proper time of day from the material plane.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You do see the beginnings of a sunset.
Okay.
Cool.
Who got the bracer from Mavo'roh?
Mavis
Did you
did.
ever look into it?
I did identify it. Yes. If you want to ask me.
Yeah. Mavis.
Yes,
what-
Gar.
Anything special about the bracer that Mavo'roh gave us?
Yes, indeed. Let me just remember what the hell this thing does. 1 second here while I look it up. Oh yes, of course. It seems that
Was it once a day, Josh? I can't remember now.
Once a day.
You sent me yeah.
once a day, it seems like it might be able to make you extra resistant to bludgeoning and piercing, slashing, anything that would hit you. It would fortify you, which is, I guess, well, yeah, for about a minute.
Sorry,
No.
10 minutes. I adjusted
Someone like
that.
about 10 minutes.
Sorry, taking my head went ding. Your identify spell
Don't
is
really
checking up
need
on you.
this. So here, Gar, you're the one getting hit most.
Well, between May and myself.
Well, you guys can have it out between you two, but here.
I just put it in the middle of the table.
Sets down on the stone table just with this thud. It's pretty substantial. It's definitely larger than Mavis's hand. It was meant to fit around Mavo'roh's hand, and it's a bracer that's actually a little bit longer than it is wide. It probably
So
would come
it's
from
like-
here to about here. So like
One
it's
Mavis high.
not quite that big, but probably from the wrist
gonna
down
fit
the
on
forearm.
I
Yeah,
also
probably
I
covers
would have
about
inspected it
3.5
as
inches.
usual to see if there was anything out of the ordinary other than like being able to. Obviously, I cast Identify on it, but cast Identify. Was there anything? Does it just look like normal rock, or
So during your time with it, Mavis,
are there runes etched on it? Anything like that?
well, you didn't actually make a check for this, so make me an investigation check in retrospect.
Aye, Captain. Am I? Yeah. I'm
All
rolling
the
public.
first roll of the night.
Thinking about it. Okay.
Hey.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's enough. It didn't take you very long. You were pretty thorough. You managed to find that there are some runes inscribed on the inside of the bracer itself, where it would wrap around your skin. You recognize the runes.
I take
to an
note
extent.
of what they look like.
Sure.
And actually sketch them out on paper.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Easy enough for you to do. It's for you in particular. You recognize them, but you don't know how to deal with them yet.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. May, why don't you hold on to it?
If that's what you want.
Yes, as de facto leader, I guess
Well. Where did we decide this?
everybody turns to me and tries to make sure that you're not the leader. So, and then
I
they're
try
like,
to
no,
be, but everyone sends me away.
Yeah, just like go for it as
If this is a democracy, then I guess it's just by popular vote, not unanimous. Do we need a
Are
leader?
you saying that? Just
Well, we need someone that's, is the first to speak, and Gar is well spoken enough.
I didn't realize that was a requirement. I still don't think we need a
We don't
leader.
want to be rude to anyone we talk to.
We don't.
everything still comes to a vote when we decide what we're doing,
Right.
where we're going. Well, you're right. We still discuss it, but as face of the group, I guess, someone that can be the in-between man or woman.
liaison.
Person. Liaison. Good word.
Thank you.
Fair enough.
Yes, May, if you want to wear the bracer.
Oh.
Sure.
I don't have a handout
This
for it
is-
yet, so I will make that. I was looking around and nothing fit what my vision for it actually is. Nathan, I might actually hit you up for some item art.
Is this the one you were talking about?
No,
You
but
want
this
it,
is
or-
actually would be a good one to start with.
Aye, Captain.
Make bracer art.
Yeah, but essentially what Mavis told you. What he doesn't want to say because Mavis.
I
Sorry,
like that.
That's-
I don't know what that is.
Our doorbell just
that's
went
not
off.
right.
That's what that was.
That's great.
Melissa's no answer.
got company.
This sounded like to me. The first few notes, like a really, really ornate doorbell.
that was weird. Okay, Foundry changed some autoplay things. Cool, that's fine. What
like
Mavis
that.
doesn't. Well, I guess Mavis actually is the only one that identified it. So exactly what you know. Now that I think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I get cursed, I'm gonna fight.
And we're all sitting at this dining table, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
it's just you guys. You saw Eleanor and Gunther walk off. They're upstairs taking care of any adjustments.
It's been a while since we've sat at an actual dining table and enjoyed a meal together. Especially
Yeah.
you, May. I mean, you're kind of new here, but I just want to say thank you all. I've been away from home and family for a long time, and being with you all really feels like family at times. So thank you. And I look forward to whatever this crazy adventure is that we're taking on.
Yes. Gods act in an interesting way.
As do the sciences. I give Mavis a little wink. But it's nice. I wouldn't ask for any other group.
Well,
Same.
Under my breath.
I would also like to express the same to all of you. You've saved me in many areas, and I'm extremely grateful.
Food looks good, huh?
That it does.
It does. It's kind of a tropical feel to it, or Mediterranean feel.
Let's hope it's not as old as they are.
I'm gonna try some of it.
let's dig in. Yum,
Just
yum,
like
yums.
decay in our mouth as we
I
swallow.
just like to know what Eleanor rolled on her cooking set.
That's actually a fantastic point. She hasn't
Oh,
cooked in about
God,
1,000
don't
years.
ruin this.
I feel like she's got a plus 12 to survival for cooking.
Okay. It tastes as good as any meal like this that you've had. It is not like outstanding. You can actually taste a little bit. It's weird. It doesn't disintegrate in your mouth by any means. It tastes real, but there is something that you can't quite put your finger on as you eat it. It feels like
Ethereal?
yeah, that's the best way to describe. Like almost like it's missing something. Like it'll get the job done and it tastes good, but it's not the same as the real thing.
Not as heavy sitting.
Yeah.
It's like,
I heard cereal at first, and
I
that
did too.
It's just like cereal. Yeah. Tastes like some Fruit Loops on the table here.
I mean, I ain't mad at it.
Delectable colored loops.
On a scale of 1 to my mom, what would I rate it for flavor?
Probably
Your mom being 10?
like
you've
Yeah.
eaten your mom?
Yep. That's what I do. That's why I'm
be-
here.
you know,
You always
maybe
wonder why
person-
I was a redemption paladin.
Ah,
Well, here
yes.
it is.
Makes sense now.
Cannibalism
You
was a
guys
huge
found out?
problem for me.
I mean, most babies have had a little bit of a mom.
this is a
True.
I asked for this.
well,
Not
here's
too
a quote
long.
for the quote system. I'd say you'd probably give it a solid 7 to 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
7.5 mamas.
7.5
That's your rating
moms out
on
of
it.
10.
I like it.
Yeah. Like it's
Oh,
solid,
man.
but you have a special area for that.
So, Darius, I saw you talking to Gunther there about the pillar in the middle. What'd you find out?
Yes. Do we want to donate any of our magical items to boost the rooms?
I don't have any to give. What do we have at our disposal?
I'd love to tell you, but I only know 2 of mine. Well, actually 3. Actually 4. I have more magical stuff than I realized.
Yeah, I
You
think that's all your magical items.
bracer.
Might be more magical items on me. Well,
If I have any.
besides the bag, well, we have my drift orb, we have my pearl of power, which I don't really feel like giving up. I have an elemental gem of fire and the wand of wonder, which I haven't tried yet. Been meaning to, but
What
I keep
does it
getting
do?
ahead. I don't
Is it-
know. Should I cast it?
Is there a
What-
training area? I forget when we took our tour.
Oh.
You didn't run across any training area.
We could- Oh, we could turn the teleportation room into a training area, a makeshift training area, until we actually
Have
prepare
the
it.
ability to.
I would rather not
Teleport
destroy
somewhere.
the circles.
Everything
We'd have
that
to
you've
copy
said
them down
about
first.
magic is true. Do you really think we could?
Well, if we copy down the circles first, I want to make sure I have.
I've already done that with one of them. Maybe
So-
study it later.
You copied one of the
I did.
circles. Well, then we could do that one. We could ask Gunther to transform it. into just a simple practice area.
There were 4 in there. I only got one of them. I'll have to get the
Right.
other 3. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll just do the one for now. It's a simple,
Well, they're all
small.
in one area. I mean, I don't know what this is going to do.
Oh, true. Where's the basement?
I
Let me
assume
see.
This place seems durable, but I'll put that to the test soon enough.
Oh, that's right.
Don't waste your wall, Mavis.
Uh-huh.
I'll test it out some other time. Next time we find something.
Well, the elemental gem of fire. What is its abilities?
From what I know, it's the when you break it, a fire elemental will be summoned.
Do I know anything about fire elementals?
Roll me.
Damn,
Actually,
this
for
thing's pretty
this-
strong.
No, go ahead and roll me a. This is gonna be weird, but a religion check.
Oh, I see.
11.
Even with that, growing up in northern Ador, in the region of Praxen in the Hollow Fjord, your people in particular knew. The majority of them tended to follow more towards elementalism rather than the first note. There were actually very few Dragonborn that followed the first note in particular, or any
Makes
of those
sense.
deities. You have definitely heard of elementals due to the nature of the prime elementals being worshipped as creators of the material plane. So you at least know the essence of what they are, living element.
It sounds like it could be quite a powerful ally in a pinch.
Yes, and that's why I've kind of held on to it.
What
I
exactly is
definitely
a
wouldn't.
fire elemental?
It's the embodiment of flame. It's
It's
It is-
living flame?
living flame.
Living
Living
thinking?
fire.
Listen to me.
It is sentient.
Do stuff.
Is it just a one use?
Question.
I
If you
believe
break
the
it, can
gem
you-
shatters.
After I
with
break the
Yeah.
gem,
these.
the fire elemental is conjured, and
Is it under your control, or is it free to do what it will?
Yeah.
I believe you can command it.
You
And
can
it gets
indeed.
its. Yeah.
How does one trap?
You actually
a
say
being
Pharma
in a
summoned
gem.
as if you had casted the conjure elemental spell. So basically, it follows the conjure elemental spell.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'd say you would have spent enough time with it, Zeos. As long as you spend a short rest with a
Yeah.
magical item, you can learn its qualities.
I
So,
would have done that with basically everything I've had, and I've had them all in my inventory for a while.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
what we could do is next time we're in Harmony or any other big cities, we could go shopping for we could go
Simple
window
magical
shopping for
items.
magical items, and maybe we could pick up on some stuff that people might not know is magical and get it for a deal.
It's
if we come across anything in our ventures that none of us can use or care to use, also do that.
Mavis, how long did it take you to make your gauntlet? Your
Oh,
glove.
my gauntlets. That was near the beginning of my work. My magnum opus, probably about 2 years actually to perfect them.
I wonder if you could craft something with
Actu-
brain power that would be
I've actually
suitable.
been thinking
Sufficient.
the same thing.
Right. How long did it? It only took you an evening to create my goggles of night, didn't it?
It did, but it unfortunately is, well, the way I did those are somewhat limited. But I'm thinking of making them in a way that they're not. So I can make multiple, but from everything that I've seen, it will take me a little while, and I'd need some time and some
And
materials.
Right.
I have steel. I have plenty of steel, copper, but I will need more.
If we make our way towards Sprockerton,
Exactly my thoughts. On to the topic I
I have a
wanted to talk about.
pickaxe.
Right. That might take too long, considering
A live studio audience now.
I love it.
Oh, that was good.
And on that note, with the inventory, that's in just over 2 weeks now, and I've just about finished my diagram for what I'm going to make, but I need materials. And not only materials, I need to know what I need to do to enlist, to put my name down on the lists. I need to travel to Sprockerton
When is
before.
that?
You pre at the 16th.
The 16th.
Oh my god, I just do this shit.
That's pretty tight schedule.
Indeed. But on my
Excellent.
calculations, I would have enough time to finish my invention and make it to Sprockleton and debut it.
Did any
If
of us
We don't do
ask
anything else.
how we leave and where we end up?
I was wondering about that. In
I
fact,
believe they said we end up exactly where we entered
So
from
we're
before.
gonna end up back on the mountain top?
That is a slight problem, is it not?
You guys didn't ask.
I was wondering if it was
Gunther!
possible.
Oh,
Takes
he's
a
behind
few-
me, isn't he? No. No,
It takes a
no.
few seconds, but eventually traveling down the hallway, not coming through any walls or anything, you see
thank God.
Gunther floating in. Yes, sir. I heard I was summoned.
Okay. When we exit the door, do we just go right back to the mountaintop that we entered from? Or is it somewhere else? I don't want to look at you while I talk
I'm
to you.
not entirely sure, sir. I have never left the manor, and this was many thousands of years ago that it was, well, created. I do not remember
You're telling
any
me there's a
mountaintop.
chance we could just end up in a random place? You don't know what happens?
Hold on.
I
Mavis,
suppose
you
that is
said you had
possible.
the key, right? Or
Do
who
I
has
have
the
the-
key?
do I have
Someone
the
had
key?
the key. right?
I think I have the
Steve?
key.
You do have the key because you handed it to Mavis. He investigated it a little bit and then handed it back to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, so we need the key to get in, right? So we always have to take the key out in order to get back in. So if we want to figure out where we're gonna go or where it's gonna pop out, one of us can walk out with the key and then always get back in with the key.
Is there any sort
volunteer.
of cooldown on the key?
Not that I am aware of, sir. The key merely
We
holds a door
each have
open.
to attune to it, though, right?
It does not require attunement. It just
Oh, it
requires use by a planeswalker.
Okay.
See you holding your hand up,
No,
Mavis. 1
but it-
second.
Yeah, I want the key.
Dinner
the
before we go adventuring anywhere.
Well, let's.
I mean,
It's not, I'm looking at your
It's
plate,
rest.
Mavis. It's half full.
I'm half your size. Of course it's half full. I'm full.
Really, the logic is.
God dang it.
I agree with May. It has, as you said, Gar, been a long while since we've all had a good meal, so it'd be good to enjoy it.
Yeah.
oh,
We're
yes.
in no hurry to.
Go
finish it.
afterwards.
Yeah, we'll all go. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Let's do it in the morning.
Of
I'm
course, sir.
tired.
Will you require
So,
any more of my
is there-
services?
Actually, no. Just remember what we talked about: the floating through walls thing. It's a bit off-putting.
Of course,
Remember,
sir.
use doors.
Yeah,
I shall try my utter best to traverse these hallways via as though I
Speaking
were
of
alive.
pudding, actually. Do you have pudding here too? You said off pudding. It just made me think of pudding.
Well, we do, sir. I do believe we might be able to conjure some.
The pudding might be off. You just-
Would you like me to fetch some, sir?
It would be a wonderful dessert.
Very well. He floats through, and just as he goes up to float through the doorway, he backs up, reaches down, and opens it via the handle down to the kitchen.
Thank you, Gunther.
Of course, he shouts back as
So-
the door closes.
As he's getting the pudding, was there anything we needed in Harmony? I mean, of course, we could report back about some things, but
Expecting my letter. So,
A letter
oh, a letter from.
yeah.
from. Oh, that's right.
From Rad. I sent a letter, well, over a week ago, would it be?
More than that. Yeah, definitely over a week ago. You probably close to 2.5 weeks.
Is there someone there that can
Actually,
check that for
let me
you,
see.
or is it? I don't know
Well,
how the
I
mail
had
system
it
works there.
requested to be delivered to Torin. at
You would have
his
sent it
shop,
on the
so-
18th. That would have been 2 weeks ago today.
So if if you can send a message to Torin, maybe we can
Oop.
have him send it over to Sprockleton.
I could.
Room here. Not sure how that would work.
We'd have to theoretically provide access to the mailman, and I don't want to do that.
Provide
Oh,
access to
third
the
level spell?
mailman.
It is.
Gunther ends up returning with the pudding in hand. Here you go, sir. A simple vanilla pudding. I believe it should suffice very well, though.
You made the right choice. Vanilla is my favorite.
Of course, sir.
Zeus, I'd be happy to send a message to Torin. However, I would need rest first.
So,
It's good pudding.
is there any other reason for us to return to? Well, we should at least see Chasiana for Sizzle.
Sure.
She's
we should
again.
see Tatiana.
Because she's
She's-
probably panicking because we just disappeared in front of her eyes.
Well, we could
She's
contact
probably
her
waiting
tomorrow
for
too,
us.
right?
Yeah, I
So
could
we should
contact
at
her in the
least say
morning.
goodbye to her, and then she's going to return to Harmony. So I can always ask her if you can't send a message.
If our
I
theory is
could-
correct and we end up exactly where we left off, well, we'll
yeah,
see her
that's also
somehow.
a problem. We have no idea where that mountaintop is, or how to get down.
Gonna be a long way down.
Mm. Indeed.
You see
Though
those
I-
bracers protect against bludgeoning?
Slashing and piercing.
I like where your head is at, but I don't think it's.
It's not all physical damage.
Something tells me that the velocity at which you'd hit the floor would probably overpower the strength of that bracer.
I do agree, sir. I believe you would become as though a rock fallen from 1,000 feet into a million pieces.
But we're golden gods.
So just,
I know.
just slip Mavis in it and roll him down the mountaintop. He'll make it to the bottom.
Oh, about that spire in the middle, that pillar thing there. Was it just any item you put in there that has special properties, or
As long as this item is a magical item and within the certain power range to restore a certain room, we may use it.
are
Show one
different
of your.
items
can-
more effective? Able to fix multiple rooms at once, or
Not necessarily multiple rooms. The bedrooms, though, sir, they do require a more powerful magic item.
what happens if we do use those or fix those?
The bedrooms?
Yes.
Well, from what I
benefits?
remember, anybody that slept in one of the beds within the bedrooms would gain the same amount of rest within 6 hours instead of 8.
Are you required to sleep in the bed?
Well, no, just the bedrooms themselves, sir. I suppose if
Very
one
well.
would choose to sleep on the floor, it should be fine.
That suffices.
Well,
Um,
I must go
what
back
are you
and help with the
sleeping in, Mavis?
renovations. You see, I am very excited to get back on this. It's been a long
never mind.
time.
Gunther, one more question.
Of course.
Do you have a book on planeswalkers to understand better what that means?
Unfortunately, any books that we do have, or did have turned to utter dust in the, over 1,000 years since they had been stored here. I'm sorry, but there's no way for me to recover them.
When we
The
go
book's
to rent,
okay,
we
but the
might-
food doesn't?
The food is made on the spot, sir. It is not stored.
Understood.
When we go
Thank
to Rand, though, Laren, we might be able to find something in the Arcanium, but I've read through quite a lot of there, and I've never heard of anything called the Planeswalkers. So
Hmm.
it's possible
whatever
it
it is,
was
it
lost
was-
The
to...
term from the first
First
age,
age.
if I'd imagine.
Yes, the Memoriams would have more information on it, judging from what we saw in that vision, but
Yes, a very
It's
interesting vision
safe to
overall.
say that that information was probably lost with the First Age.
That would make sense.
Gunther, did you not know that the room was there downstairs with the pedestals?
I did not, sir. You see, my being as a ghost simply allows me to go to the known rooms. It appears this mansion was concealing this room until the appropriate time.
You still don't know what's in that room that's next to the piano?
Unfortunately not. The door has been locked ever since the mansion's creation.
For
Where's the key?
1,000 years, and you
I
still...
am-
Curiosity hasn't got the best of you? Didn't
The
just
room
flip
does
through
not-
the door?
The room does not concern me. I know not what is in there. My charge is everything within the known walls, and of course those within them, now that we have you here.
I wonder if I'd be able to locate the key.
How so?
Well, I have a spell at my disposal where it allows me to locate objects. So if
What
it's
if it-
within the mansion,
Doesn't have a key.
I
Well,
suppose
had
it
a
is possible.
lock,
It does not have an actual lock on the door.
Well,
Well, that's a bigger problem.
the 8 pedestals downstairs look like they needed something. What if completing those unlocks the door?
You mean the Memoriams? The one that we put one into the pedestal?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very anticlimactic door to open for those 8 Memoriams.
Well, I suppose it depends what's behind the door.
That's fair.
I suppose it's
This
entirely possible.
weapon
It needs to
that's-
be a better door.
A gigantic workshop.
Well, you're not going to
Mavis.
hide something very important behind an important looking door if you want it to stay safe.
This is sound logic. Well, will there be anything else for me?
Are the rooms almost
But we
finished?
broke.
I believe we have finished renovating 2 or 3 of them. We are still in the process.
Bet it's Mavis's room taking the longest.
I whispered, you got all my specifications.
Every one of them, sir. He
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
necessarily
turning it
whisper
into
back
a-
quietly, but he says
Are you making your whole room just booby traps, Mavis?
What? No, never.
So what you're
Well, I
saying
shall
is
be
if
back
I
to
open
it
your
then.
door, it's not going to explode.
I didn't say those words.
No, I thought he was wrong.
I was about to roll insight as
If you're rolling
well, but it was
insight-
well said.
Yeah,
It's
Mavis,
his room full of
roll
booby
to me.
traps.
Normally I wouldn't care, but that's right next to my room. So I
That's true.
care a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
We're all inciting on all of what he's saying. It's not my
what
strong
what was
suit.
this in particular
Look at-
for? Like, which
If
part
my
of what
room is
Mavis said?
full
Booby
of booby-
trapped.
Is it
Yep.
is it booby
Is it
trapped?
going to explode anytime soon? Do I need to sleep like away from my closet? Like, the other side?
What you need to do is reinforce your wall against Mavis.
Um,
Luckily, I kind of did that.
oh.
Is the music not on repeat?
Oh, I have it on repeat. I don't know why it's not
There's
repeat.
We're getting ready to go back.
I have not. I haven't been hearing the music.
Oh, there's music playing?
Well, there
Yeah.
there was.
No,
It stopped for the last
it's-
couple minutes.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
Wizard's Tower.
Oh,
Yeah.
I actually wasn't. I wasn't hearing it from the get-go.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Open your ears.
I know. There we go. Now I can hear
Well,
it. I just had to refresh.
Did Gunther already go off?
He's waiting here for if there were any more requests.
Okay,
You can see him. He has his hands just kind of behind his back in a very proper
Hey,
stance.
Gunther, 1 second, and then I'm gonna whisper into his ear, and I'll
He,
just
like,
DM you
leans
what I
down.
whisper.
Sure.
The food was delicious.
was-
I'm watching them like
I'm
whisper
listening.
to each
I'm
other.
listening intently to the whisper.
Zeus, if you're whispering, make me a. I never know whether to make this stealth or sleight of hand because they're. I mean, it's the same stat. Probably sleight of hand.
Light
After
of
you're
mouth.
done. Sleight of lips.
What am I?
Make me a sleight of hand roll.
They're both the same for me, so it's not actually bad for me.
Okay.
14.
Well, either way, you all see. So Mavis, you pick up a few words.
Oh yeah, I didn't roll in private whatevs.
Refresh my memory. Did we receive any clues as to where to head next from the Memoriams?
We saw a desert at the end of the vision, or
Yeah.
We
whatever.
did
that
see
thing
the
was.
desert, which Sprockton is in a desert or near
Uh,
one.
South
it's more
of
like
the
a rocky
desert.
wasteland. From what we
Yeah.
saw, it was a sandy desert, which from
Sounds
everything
more
that I've
like-
seen
Oh, that'd be-
briefly of the world maps. I don't know this world very well. Seems to be north of us. In
Yeah.
True.
I believe it was
True.
called the Turkanite Desert, the Turpanite Desert, the
Turanite.
That one. That's the one.
So if we want to go to the Turanite Desert, we will still have to go around this mountain range, unless the monks know a way straight through. That would cut our time in half. So Sprockton is out of the way, but on the way if we were to go around the mountains.
What kind of time frame did Mavo'roh say that this was a great rush that we needed to find all the Memoriams?
He didn't give us any time frame. He just said that we had to get to them before they did, which I guess inherent
It's
rush
a bit of
there.
urgency, yes.
The question is, how did they find it in the first place? It didn't call to us, so either they had an informant like we did, a scout of some sorts, or there's a power source that calls to them. Or they just happened to stumble across this random innocuous, dilapidated tower in the middle of nowhere,
So
read the book, and transport down below.
it's possible that they found it because they found some first stage ruins, and they know that first stage ruins has power.
The question
know-
is, how did they find the ruins in the first place?
Ruins are known all throughout Ador.
Yeah.
it would
Evidently, this
seem.
one wasn't, because these scouts, when they
Yes,
found
this,
it,
this
it
one
was
was more of just a
unmarked.
dilapidated tower. It wasn't even really ruins.
Correct.
I mean, it's a
And
ruined
It
tower.
was definitely a ruined tower.
But it
They-
wasn't.
They were very surprised by what they saw, so maybe Stanley tattled it elsewhere too. Told it to everyone on the way.
I highly doubt it.
I don't know. The way he was running his mouth, it wouldn't surprise
It's
me.
also possible that what we're dealing with is things that, cause the first stage to end, which then they would have knowledge of the first stage. So maybe they just know locations of potential areas.
Well, if that's the case, then
Power?
why suddenly? Why?
Maybe
Why
Otto
did we find it
was
at the same time?
a wizard from the first age that was quite
Einstein?
powerful, and they knew something there might be able to help power the portal.
Could be.
It is a potential
then-
explanation, but not satisfactory at this time.
I mean, I'm not going to be able to satisfy any thought for you right now.
My brain went
Oh,
somewhere
that
else.
language means.
He was about to say it.
Yep.
I got the word spotted there just in time.
Yep. Good
Not
catch.
able to satisfy your mind at all right now with anything that we talk about. I can only help give ideas.
If it's possible, if we ever do see one of these shadow beings again, maybe it's best we don't kill it off the bat. We find a way to contain it, to question it,
Like a jar?
Could you build
or
something to
a
do
gem,
that?
if we figured out how to do that. What's that, Larry?
Could you build something to do that?
Perhaps.
Possible.
If they can be constrained by anything... Oh.
Well, if I can have
Pull out a
this...
book and start sketching.
Yeah.
Would
If I
I
could-
know anything about
Oh.
rapping versus exercising?
Interesting. Make me.
Or
Uh,
exercising and trapping?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard rapping.
I heard
I don't know
rapping
anything
as well.
about rapping. How much did I
I was
practice?
Can I drop my mixtape on the machine?
It's just gonna be so. We're gonna give up all the information.
Make
Put him under the
me
heat.
a
That is-
religion check.
That is some, was it verbal component?
Verbal
to that.
jousting.
Yeah, not oral, not oral for anybody in chat.
Going to need a-
Also, I don't know if you ever got my whisper, Mavis.
Yes, I did.
I was gonna whisper you something
Okay,
else.
good.
but I completely forgot what it was.
So,
Oh.
May, it's difficult to tell for sure. There are a lot of different things when it comes to the trapping, containment, or in some way or another, control of a spirit or ethereal-like being. You've done a lot of research. Well, you've done research on a few different topics in this matter. It seems like ghosts are ones that most of them pertain to. Trapping those in such a way, and usually because they have a physical tie somewhere to the world, something that happened that you can do that with. Something like a shadow demon that this thing was described as, there might be something if you did more research on the topic in particular, but nothing comes to mind that would be strong enough.
I was just wondering if there's kind of like if Mavis were to make a contraption, if there was something like I could add to that in terms of like holy water or anything radiant or anything of that nature that would make the trap more effective, or contraption, whatever you plan on making.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Pokeball.
Yeah.
Can I make a
Can we
Pokeball?
I like this concept. This is a really cool
Specialized
concept.
in
Nathan starts typing.
Yeah.
I told Josh what I already have an idea of what I would build.
If we were to
Oh.
enchant it with, like, remember how we used my magic circle to dispel them? What if we were to enchant a contraption with a permanent form of that, so they couldn't leave the circle?
I thought that the one that you had forced them to leave the circle.
It works.
Oh, it could. Can't willingly enter the cylinder.
I believe they can't willingly.
What if we
enter
could-
either if you
There, I have something. I don't remember where it's at now. I'll find it.
What if we could concentrate it? So instead of a circle, it's a thin torus around it, and it can't leave the walls that are contained and made by the torus.
Right. I have something that won't allow things through it. I just have to find it.
I have another idea too. This is good.
well, it's kind of like using that spell that you use to get all those shadow beasts out. Just
Yeah.
in reverse. Instead of getting them out, we keep them in.
So, May, because of your role, actually, no, never mind. I had a different DC in mind for this in particular. So that is what you know from the role.
A 20. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He was about to give me some secret dark lore or some shit. This is higher than a 20.
It's like you needed it. Oh, magic circle. Yes.
I wonder something else that I've been wondering about. What?
Wow, it just scrolled me right to you.
Yeah.
Yep. When you cast a spell.
Yeah, that's what I said. What's that say?
I didn't realize that. That's really cool. Then
Nice.
you
Yeah,
could
so
use that.
It was magic circle. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yep.
So if
So,
I were to take the time.
So May, that one comes to mind.
Thanks.
we could just use magic circle.
It would take a long time for me to enchant something to do that.
I might be able to help you with it, depending
Cleric,
on.
Paladin, Warlock, Wizard.
how we can do it.
Okay, I'm just a
How long are you thinking?
pleb.
DM, how long would it take to enchant an object with a 3rd level spell, and what are the what's the cost of doing so?
So,
On Mavis' foot.
Too pricey. Nope.
interesting
Just make a new
notion.
foot.
Okay, I'll put it this way. When you see there, it didn't repeat again. I don't know why it's not repeating.
Huh.
Foundry plus whatever. Yeah, I just had to replay it. You know what? Actually, for this, make me an Arcana check, because this is not your area of expertise.
Should we both do it? Or
If you-
can I, like,
You can
help
both
them?
do it for
We
sure.
were talking about it together.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
Not necessarily giving the other advantage, but you can
Would
both
I
do
have
it.
any ideas?
Yeah,
would
you would
this be?
I
definitely
mean,
be able to make an Arcana
we're
check.
having an open group
Yeah, this is
conversation
over.
about it, so
So,
You'd be able to roll for sure.
Arcana check?
Let's go.
I mean, I offered to help them,
Geniuses in
but
the party.
yeah.
Mavis, the only reason...
it's divine magic.
Exactly.
I know.
That's the only reason that I
But
don't know
the,
if you...
the question being,
Religious
should it be
group, we got this.
whatever that power is put into something that I understand in such a way that it could contain it. But I don't know.
No,
As I said, like,
given Mavis's current journey and what he's accepting currently to an extent, go ahead and make me an Arcana check with this.
I
Hi,
haven't done
Raiders,
any
hi, Lynette.
research on enchanting.
Okay. So let's see. Pretty much actually for all three of you, except for Zeos. Zeos, you just took a bite of that food, and damn, that was good. It's distracting.
Too many sips of ale.
Yep, too many.
oh, whoops, I didn't mean to private that. My
Oh,
bad.
you're fine. But for the rest of you, I would say that you can. Bless you. I would say that you can pretty easily recall that the way that enchantments work on different magical items is quite a lengthy process. Even for something of a rarity of uncommon, it can take upwards of a month. For something towards rare, it could take upwards of several months to actually enchant an item to receive a spell or in some other form of enchantment.
I know.
Mavis,
I've already kind of
for
mapped
you
out
in particular,
how long it would take for me to do
Mavis,
the thing I was thinking.
because of you, however, you know, you actually don't know the other side. What you know is that you can do it pretty quickly. However,
Gotcha.
you've never tested it with another person casting a spell into an item. The other thing is you have not been able to successfully just get an item to store a spell or brain power waves as of yet.
Would that same theory hold for if I wanted to craft, say, like a spell scroll?
Interesting. A spell scroll.
It's a one-time use thing.
Yeah,
But,
I'll
like-
keep this same check. A spell scroll is a bit different. I would say that with the aid of a wizard, you would be able to do it in about half the time because they specialize in magically infused words scrolls in particular. For you, you've never tried it, and you don't really know the specifics. Yeah, I'd say since you've never tried it, you don't know the specifics of what would go into it. But you figure if you do get a wizard's help, you might be able to shortcut that process.
We gotta find Genmare.
I know.
You did have a wizard, which is the only reason you know anything about it.
Mm.
Because Gar in particular, well, I guess you might have had some wizards back in the Hall of Huron.
Based on my calculations, it
Eventually.
wouldn't take too long to do sort of what you're saying with things that I know what to do with, but I don't know what to do with your abilities. How
Well,
to
I'm sure with
transfer
our
those.
powers combined, we could manage something of the sort.
This is an out of character question.
Sure.
Just because I'm not sure, I don't know much about it, but is that something where like that the enchanting can happen while we're on the move, or is it like concentrated, like have to be in one
You have to
spot?
spend quite a bit of time per day focusing on.
Yeah. You
Gotcha.
I'll say you don't know 100% because none of you have ever tried it or asked that in particular, but given your assessment of the thing, of the topic, it probably requires some pretty dedicated concentration.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, it's food for thought, something we can discuss. And perhaps once we get to Sprocketon, because it seems that's where we're heading next, right?
That's
We're
my
all
vote.
in favor of Sprocketon?
Aye.
Once we've gotten word out to everyone that we need to, Chasiana, Thorin.
Yes. Once we clean things up, once we finish up what we were doing. I don't know how to word that.
Once we
It's okay, Zeus.
close this
late.
chapter, yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Once we hit period and move on to the next chapter.
Right. So perhaps once we reach Sprocketon, someone there may have already learned how to create something of this nature,
I'm sure there's
or
something
be able
special.
to put some insight into it.
That could be.
If we can't do that, I have an idea that might work, but I don't know how long it would take me. I'd have to sit down and
Well,
sketch it out.
Davis, I did have a question. Are you making your invention for the inventory before or after we get to Sprocketon?
I wanted to start it before. The issue is that I don't have all the materials that I need. I'm missing a few. I can start some of it now, but I also need to know the requirements. I don't know if there's a cutoff as to when I can register. If it's I have to be there 2 weeks prior, a week prior, 3 days prior, day of. I don't know.
You don't have to be invited.
I don't know anywhere in between here and there that you'd be able to find materials.
Would I know anything?
I could finish it to a point where it could be presentable, and then I could get the rest of what I need in Sprocketon. If I had about a week here, I could finish it, and then we could head to Sprocketon.
I feel like the markup on materials is going to be quite high in Sprocketon.
I have enough
Especially around
steel. I have enough
inventory.
to make what I need to make. It's a few of the actually cheaper materials that I'm missing.
What are you missing?
Like
I
what?
might. Yeah.
Linen. I need to make padding, cloth, and I don't have enough.
Here,
I was just gonna say, I have an extra vest of
hand them all my common clothes.
I have an extra set of
Stripping down.
vestments.
Let's go.
One by one, shirt just thrown on the table.
I might
I have a
be able to
blanket,
repurpose
too.
these, actually.
I
have 6
you have
blankets.
so many blankets.
That's 6 blankets. It's like I thought of this beforehand. It's only simply because I gave it to you. I forgot about it. I can finish it. I can finish it here.
So you don't
There you
need
go.
my clothes then.
Actually, I don't think I do.
Alright, well, I'll take them back then.
I
Everything
can
I
cloth
said I brought.
owns a crap ton of blankets and chairs. Yeah, if you need wood, you got a whole bunch of stools.
So funny.
I have plenty of wood. Okay. Yeah, I just need a week then, and I can finish it, and then we could. I'm assuming it's like from everything that I've seen, I would assume maybe a 3-day journey, maybe a little bit more to Sprocketon from here.
From here, probably, I guess a week.
Oh, a week cuts it close, but it would be within the time frame, considering if I can sign up 2 days
Well-
prior.
We have to get back. We have to say goodbye to Chasiana. We have to find our horse and carriage, and then we have to get a move on.
One of those
that's
is
probably
optional.
going to take at least half a day to get
I
through.
mean,
all
you have
that.
16 days to get there, so.
I have to have a week of concentrated work on it
Have
here.
horses in a random spot.
We left them just outside the spires.
Make me history
For how
checks.
Yep.
Oh, that's a
Oh.
good
I thought
question.
about this earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, oh god, our horses are dead.
Oh no.
Flip, god.
You guys are on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
I am.
Like, as you say this, May, you and Gar lock eyes, and you remember. Chasiana mentioned that last time she visited the Cloud Spires, she left her horse.
Monks took care of it.
Exactly. They took care of it, and she had it back perfectly taken care of when she left.
They're not dead.
Correct.
I think Clyde's dead.
So,
Okay, sorry.
let's finish our meal. Perhaps we can
Get
step
some
out.
rest.
Well, if we can step out and see where it puts us before
Given
we get
everything
a
that we
rest.
talk about, perhaps all of you just step out, and I could get to work on this even tonight, and then every day after.
Yeah, if
Go
you want to
for
get
it.
started. And we can enter the mansion every evening for rest, so you'll have an adequate
Well,
workspace.
we just have to make a door. So make a door as your first priority. That can fit through the door.
So, Mavis, the thing that you know, because you're the one that identified the key, the door only remains active for 10 minutes. Which means as if you leave the mansion after those 10 minutes, it'll go back to wherever it's about to go right now. There seems to be a consistent endpoint for this door if you don't leave within that 10-minute link. Which means you can't use it like as a magnificent mansion during your travels as of yet.
Oh.
So we have no idea where the fuck we're gonna end up.
Correct.
Right.
We
Interesting.
should probably figure out where this
We
door
could end
is.
up in the Iberian Peaks.
For science.
Cool.
Fun fact, Joel told me before the session started, put it in the Iberian Peaks and give Mavis 0% chance of reaching the inventory.
You bitch.
Well, let's see. Hold on.
Wait,
Hold
so
on.
we leave
If
right now.
if we end
We
up in
might
the
not be
Elverian
able to
Peaks,
come
I
back.
might know a way to get there in time. But it's a long shot.
You've been to the
Really
Albanian
long
Peaks?
shot, and it really depends on Josh.
Well,
Who's Josh?
it's another deity you don't believe in.
Yes.
It's the ultimate deity.
It's
Above the
one that
greater
controls
deities
my
and the lesser
mind
deities.
base.
There's gotta be one above all others.
You hear a laugh throughout the mansion.
He's with us.
I was,
Random
was-
duck
oh.
attack.
Saying, Laren.
I was wondering if that's why I was hoping for a book on it. I don't understand it, but planeswalkers, can we decide where we want to go, or are we put at a set
Also,
location?
I mean, we could test that theory.
We just
If
need
we
to
were
think.
to,
Brain power.
if we were to all think of
Just subject
back.
to one
the
plane.
Sunset Valley as we left.
Hold on 1 second here.
That's true.
It's a good test. If it does work, we just open the door up again and think of. Well, I haven't been to the inventory, so I don't know how to think of that properly. But we think of the bits in the mountains.
Who mountains?
The mountains that we entered from.
Mm.
That edge of that forest.
I wonder if Gunther would know, or Eleanor.
He said he wasn't
What we
sure.
just asked, he said he didn't know.
Yes,
I guess
Since
they've never
they've never
exited.
left. What if we were to try to send him out? Would he just
I don't think
disappear?
he probably,
Is he bound to
Did
this
not.
place?
from what it sounded like, he's bound to this place. But as planeswalkers, that sounds like we can shift through planes, or we're just able to walk through planes. So I'm trying to figure out this. Give me a sec.
I'm not sure if we should try this before we sleep.
True.
That is a good idea.
Yes. Let's sleep, then we can go out in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, that'll allow me to get messages to Torin and others.
You all hear coming down the hallway.
Well, all the rooms are done. We made sure to do them as closely to all of your specifications as you gave us. Whenever you'd like to, you can go up. I think they all look really nice. You did a great job.
The hammock's in place.
Dinner
The
was
hammock, yes, and of
liquid,
course the
thank you.
fishing net as well, and the wheel.
Very good.
Oh,
What did you have them put in your room, Gar?
You're
wheel
more
with
than
the
welcome to
fishing net?
come see for yourself.
I don't think I've ever been fishing before.
Did you
It's a lot of fun.
turn it
When you do it right.
into a box?
I will. I can teach you.
Don't let Mavis teach you.
You could
Otherwise,
let me
you might
teach you if
get
you wanted, but it's up to her.
thrown.
You can't tell her what she wants to do or not. Do you want to learn my way or Dracar's way?
Why not both?
That's the right answer.
I would go like this.
I'll just warn you.
Oh God.
I'll just warn you that with Mavis's way, you could potentially lose a limb.
Or a fish, or 3, or the floor,
I mean,
The possibilities are
or
endless.
tan.
the possibilities are endless.
Where are we
Not the
fishing
same.
if there's a floor?
Well, there's nowhere to fish in here, of course. And I don't suppose there might be anything outside. I don't know where the portal...
Could we change that?
Change what?
Could
Within the
there be a place
manor.
to fish?
Oh, I
Maybe
don't know if
for
that's within the
another
manor's specific or abilities right now.
Manor's useless.
Bring up a
Oh,
question.
dramatic.
You said you can create inorganic material. You cannot create any sentient organic material. Is that correct?
Not sentient, no. Everything that we create as far as meals, well, it's not exactly alive. That's why it's not entirely the same nutrition you'd gain otherwise. But it's still food, and it will suffice for nourishment.
That's questionable. Oh no.
But
Does
So
everyone
what was in the
look
pudding?
done?
At this point, yeah, you guys have spent about 45 minutes afterwards. You look out the window, and the sun is about halfway through setting towards the latter end of it.
I would probably, out of reaction, start cleaning up.
Okay, interesting. I love it.
I push my chair away and leave it pushed out, and then I'm gonna go walk upstairs.
As you do that, May, Eleanor comes over.
Oh, no, you don't need to do that. That's what we're here for. Please, it's been many, centuries, years, decades, all of it since we've had the chance to. I mean, of course, if you'd prefer to, if it's some sort of winding down, you can do that yourself, but that is what we're here for.
Well, it would be rude not to clean up after somebody else cooked.
Well, in that case, is there anything I might do to help?
And you see her kind of straighten out her apron that she has on.
I can... Do you actually wash the dishes here, or...
Sorry, okay, go ahead.
You know you two went to the basement?
No, we didn't.
No, that's the F2.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we did.
You did?
I was
Oh my
like, where
god.
the heck did you guys go sitting in front of the manor?
What was the last thing you said, May?
Do you even wash dishes here?
Oh, not exactly, no. We sort of just, well, we let the manor take care of that. You see, there's a little area over here,
And you can see her take you down into the kitchen area.
we put them into this barrel,
And she puts like a small pile of plates into the barrel.
we close the lid, and when we open it up, well, they're just gone, and you look over there.
And you see on the shelf, more plates begin rising out of the shelf, the same way that the mug did when Gar smashed it to the ground as a test.
The manor just sort of brings them back. I mean, we do have barrels of water if it's therapeutic at all to wash them manually, but there's no need to.
No, that's fine. I can get adjusted to this. So I put them in the barrel.
It
It's
is
a
quite
dishwasher.
Yeah.
from everything that I don't really remember much, but I remember it being slightly different when I was alive. Of course, we used water and things like that. This is much different.
Yeah, you don't even have to,
She remembers
Dry
something
them.
from when she was alive? What?
You do remember them saying they remember bits and pieces. It seems like nothing specific. It's more like when you're an amnesiac and you remember almost feelings, but not events.
Okay.
Yeah. It's that kind of feel that you get the more they describe their past.
Well, if you'd like, you can continue to do so. I'll be sure to help, though. It's very therapeutic for me as well.
Very well, and I will clean with her. And while I'm cleaning with her, I want to talk to her about cooking.
Okay. Let's start with that then, because the rest of you will be heading upstairs with Gunther. Gunther ends up coming downstairs. Well, all of the rooms look very nice, if I do say so myself. I am positively elated. They seem quite well done. If you'd like to follow me. And he begins walking upstairs. Over the time, though, while they're heading upstairs, Eleanor just kind of starts humming to herself with this tune that almost seems like reaction for her. She gets into a zone pretty quickly. Well, kind of just like, without even looking at certain things, she grabs plates, puts them in a barrel, closes them, and goes off to do something else while everything's doing its thing.
We didn't have to RP the cooking thing, though.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there was something specific.
No, I'm just on top. talk to her about it.
Yeah, for the most part, you see that she enjoys cooking a variety of different dishes. She doesn't necessarily stick to just one, but she does enjoy working with different herbs and spices and greens, even though they're not necessarily green insofar as alive anymore. So the salad was kind of her go-to for that reason.
Gotcha.
Yes, they're browns now.
Wait, why am I stuck?
I know, right? I got stuck a few times too.
What are you guys doing?
We're in a mountain here. When you're in a hotel, you gotta dart down the hallways, you know?
How did you get there? You're like in the wall.
He's in the
In
table.
the wall.
Gar, how did you get in the table?
Thank you.
I think Garza goes too.
We're just like running around in circles to each other. Gar's like, I'm onto the table.
He just like wedged himself.
My table.
Gunther leads you all upstairs, the rest of you guys. I assume to Gar's room, since that he said, come visit this one. As you guys make your way to the end of the hall, which I guess I could put that token.
Why am I stuck?
Bada bing.
Ah!
Yeah, hello, sir. What? You always end up controlling Gunther. Of course, sir. My apologies. He opens the door, and immediately as the door is opened, you guys hear, and you guys can actually walk in to have this be the case. It should be working at least. Yeah. You hear the lapping of waves. The room itself doesn't seem to sway or move at all, though it's almost like you get this false sensation of movement with the look of the ship walls here. They have a rounded edge to them, almost like you'd be towards the bottom of the hull of a boat. The windows themselves seem almost like they're protruding outside of what would be the ship. There's a mixture of barrels and boxes in the corner with net overlaid onto them, a hammock towards the top with a ship's sail actually on the wall as a sort of decoration just behind the hammock.
Also used as a blanket.
Also used as a blanket. I actually love that.
Just unfurl it. And wrap it.
That's genius.
I'm gonna see if the wheel spins.
As you get on there and kind of turn the wheel, it does spin, but nothing happens. It seems more aesthetic and fitting to the vibe rather than functional.
This takes me back to Sunset Valley.
Well, it's funny you should say that.
Yes, that's the other thing.
If you look out these northern windows,
Is it Sunset Valley?
You look out the northern windows and you don't even need a history check. There's this
All right, lift
peace
me
that
up.
washes over you
I
as
lift him up.
you lift him up, and Mavis, you can see it too, all of you guys. The music stopped.
Except for
Fucking-
me.
Actually,
May wouldn't know.
I see a black screen right now. It told me I went somewhere I wasn't supposed to go.
Wait-
I think I went inside a wall. Wait.
Oh.
There you are.
Hi, Larry.
Am I back? I can't tell.
May, overall, the cleaning process downstairs, unless you're spending a lot of time with her, only takes about 5 minutes. Really,
Damn, I wish dishes were like that normally.
I know, right?
I know.
I
It's
would
kind of
probably
nice.
say when heading back to my room, I saw them all in Gar's room and was like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah, I'll let you know about the time that you would be entering into here. But the four of you guys, for a second, nostalgia hits as you look out the windows and you see a view from the beach of Sunset Valley. It has just enough peripheral to be able to see the valley on either side of you guys, and you know it's Sunset Valley because just out of the beach, probably like 3/4 of a mile, you see the Isle of Eldon, where you guys actually visited to reactivate the enchantment that protected the sea. There's this wave of remembrance that hits you as you remember Mara, her disappearance, the residents of Sunset Valley and her own father not remembering that she existed, eventually rescuing her and her brother that all of you had forgotten about. And
What,
the thing... Wait, do you not actually remember because...
No, I don't remember.
Okay, because that would have been ironic.
His name, though.
James?
I know, I forgot until you said it, and then I was
I
like,
think it
oh
was
yeah,
James.
we found more
I
kids.
think it was James. But I'll have to double check.
Divino.
But the thing that started it all. And you just kind of sit there or stand there. And
thing that
due to the
started it
time of
all.
day being reflected right now, it literally is like perfect because it's the latter portion of sunset.
The sunset.
As it's washing over Moonlight Bay, it creates this
Wait, are we looking north?
Yeah.
north, yes. But it's, well,
But it's
north is
west.
relative. It's
We'll
north
be
in the
looking.
mansion. the windows can choose to look whichever direction they prefer because it's
So
just
we'd be
an
looking
illusion.
theoretically west.
You would be looking
Right.
west, yes.
Okay.
May, you kind of come up the stairs with Eleanor by you as you turn the corner and you see all of the rest of your party just kind of staring out the windows in Gar's room. It's weird because you look through the door and you see a massive ship, or what feels like a ship that you would be entering on the other side.
I was just gonna quietly walk in, not wanting to disturb them.
Yeah.
Stand
You
there.
notice her walk in.
Based on the position that we're at,
I'm not trying to stealth or anything.
theoretically through the right hand, if I look to the right, I'd see that'd be towards Stoneworth, right?
It would be towards
Where we're looking.
Stoneworth, but as you look to the right, that's not what you see.
Oh shit! I would rush over to that window though. And
If
try
you
to
rush
hop
to
up
that
and see.
window, it's something different.
Yeah. As you go over to that window, anticipating to anticipating to see Stoneworth, instead you see a much colder landscape. You recognize that it's cold just because of the overall color of the water, the air itself. You know when you look at a picture of landscape and you just know it looks cold? The grass itself is greener, like almost a deep green. And you're seeing a vision out of some docks. There's some fishing poles laid about, and off far in the distance is a distant island. You can't really
Is
tell how big though.
this a place that I know of but don't know of. Is that Drax or Darastrix? That's what it's called. Not Drax.
I'm assuming you're asking that out loud.
Yeah, I'm asking that the Gar. I'm asking if this is the Hollowfield or Daratrax.
It is
Darastrax.
part of the Hollowfield, but it is not Darastrix. It is Praxin, my home.
Oh yes. I've never been up there, so.
It looks
If
cold.
you look, that
Well, it is
dock,
far north.
that dock there was only a couple 100 feet from my home.
My foundry is deafened.
It is a deadified.
Deadified.
Foundry's
Yes.
dead?
Yes. Dead left it.
It's not dead for me.
It's,
Hit
yeah?
escape?
She's just taking a cat nap on Gar's hammock right now.
Do you see a menu pop up?
I see reload application or log out.
Yeah, try reload application. See if that helps.
All right, I've refreshed a few times, but it still keeps going to a black screen.
Black screen. Hold
I
on.
wonder if it did the same thing.
Yeah, Nathan, could you... Rachel, in the upper right, go to your settings
Okay.
and then configure settings.
All right.
Do you see disable game canvas towards the top?
Yes.
Is that checked?
No.
No.
Hmm.
Can you check it, hit save, and then go back in and uncheck it and hit save?
Sure. It said something about WebGL that it's not supporting it or something.
You're using Chrome, right?
Yeah, and it was working. It says your browser does not currently support WebGL rendering, which is required for Foundry Virtual Tabletop. But it was working.
You
Definitely
might
does.
That
That's Chrome.
issue-
try rebooting the browser potentially.
Yeah, try
Yeah.
that, because it
And
definitely
if not,
supports
then
it.
clear cache and see if that does anything.
Yeah, Firefox installed. You could also try that.
Yeah,
Sure.
that would be a good
Launching
fallback.
Firefox.
Okay. Yeah,
Whatever
sorry
you
about
use,
that.
just
Fun
don't
fact,
use
that was the
ID.
thing that Nathan accidentally did yesterday that killed Foundry.
You can disable
Oh.
the game canvas? Wow.
Yeah, apparently, and they moved its position because at the top, what used to be there was left click to release objects, which
Yeah.
I check every time that I start Foundry, and so I instead accidentally checked disable game canvas. So that's why it went
Essentially,
away.
they implemented it so that I see you back in the list.
And it says you do not own any token with vision to this scene, and it went black again.
Oh.
We tried deleting Laren and remaking her.
Okay. Oh wait, hold on.
That work?
That might have worked. I don't see anybody else, but I see me.
You don't see anybody else?
Yes.
Do you see our names on the bottom left under players?
I do see that. Yeah. I just don't see you guys in the room with me.
Weird.
Try Firefox. That's bizarre.
Do you see that, like popping up in the room?
I do. I just don't see your face.
That's weird.
That's really weird. Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to debugging as we update Foundry.
Yes. But continue. I just wanted to let you know, but I don't
No,
want to
that's a-
interrupt the story.
Good point. Very good to let me know about that. So, let me see.
Yes, that's my home.
Oh, you can go. You remember where the
And that dock is where my father and my uncle would take me to learn to fish.
What was it that made you leave?
I was hired on as a deckhand, essentially, for an expedition crew under the leadership of my. I did say Jarlin was my uncle, right?
You did, yes.
Yes. Under my uncle Jarlin, being the captain of a voyage for a group that hired him to search for something. And he brought me along, thought it'd be good for me to get out and see some of the world.
What was the something they were searching for?
The Isle of the Gods.
I've heard you mention it a couple times.
No, it's a good
That's
question.
what they hired me for, right?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, that's what you guys were sent out for. You were an exploratory crew, and that was the purpose of your fishing vessel or exploration vessel. May roll me a religion check, but due to the nature of this, it'd probably be with disadvantage. Actually, no, this would be history. Now that I think about it, but not with disadvantage. This would just be history.
So.
Okay.
And is that what led you to the valley?
You probably haven't heard of it, actually.
Well, what led me to the valley was the storm that destroyed my ship.
What is Mavo'roh the god of? Again.
Sea and...
You've only known her as the sea, actually.
Okay. It's the god of sea, of the sea.
Haven't taken any notes on the Lord.
Cold.
Never mind.
Probably. Does it
Is
feel
that on
cold
my
to you
golf
with all
list
your
right now?
scales, or?
No, I'm quite accustomed to it. And I mean, I am a silver dragon born, of course, so
There's other colors?
Yes, actually, my mother was a copper dragonborn.
Was your father a silver?
He was.
Oh,
There's
there's a lot I don't know
silver,
apparently
copper,
about the races.
gold. Well, actually, I don't know about dragonborns. Is there only chromatic dragonborns, or is there also
There are both.
both? Okay.
Yep. There are both.
So
The chromatic dragonborn were more, well, almost like their dragon counterparts. More tribal almost.
Yes, I do.
Wow, joke.
Yes.
Hate
he's a
you.
Tinaborn.
Which one are you controlling, Rachel? Which one are you controlling?
Do you see it up there?
I do, but which one? So you're controlling the one in the room.
I'm trying to control one, and then it tells me I can't move her, and then it breaks again.
Try now.
Maybe that's what it was.
She's moving. Do you see us?
I do. Okay.
Hey,
I think I'm
we got it
back.
to work.
There was two of me. So okay. Anyway, sorry about that.
You're good. It's all part of it.
Okay.
Cold is literally in my blood, so
Fair.
it doesn't bother me. Cold never bothered me, anyways.
Have you been to many other places, or just to there and then you left on your sailing?
Oh, most of my life was spent in Praxton or around it in the sea.
I don't know. I've been here 25 years. I don't know this continent, but at all. Spent all my life down in that little corner. I'd like to know more of it.
May I noticed you were looking north there through those windows.
I guess I was just being nosy, trying to see what everyone else was
No.
looking at.
Nosy's good.
That was our home for a while.
It's
My whole
beautiful.
life.
Maybe it's his whole life. A good
Alright.
portion of Laren's, and I spent my last 2 years there. Right? 2? Yes.
Yep, it was 2 years.
It's also sort of a secret. And so I know
Yes, if you
we've
tell
mentioned
anybody,
this a
we'll
few
have to
times.
kill you.
That is sort of the rule.
That's alright, Sam. I can keep a secret.
I give her a smirk and a wink. Right. So, this is what I asked them to do to my room. it's comfortable for me. Enjoyed.
Very nice.
You don't get tired of the wave
Delicious.
sounds?
It's
sort of
very
healing.
relaxing. I figure any time I spend in here is going to be time relaxing and trying to sleep, and it does a good job of doing that for me.
That makes me have to pee. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
There's a
Just constant water
shower
flowing.
pot in the water closet over there.
Oh,
Water closet.
The water closet.
pardon me, Eleanor, or Gunther, whoever you
Are
are.
you gonna close the door?
I
Yep.
can see why it's so. I can see why it's so beautiful. It's. I mean, it's a wonderful
Well,
sight,
if you
really.
stop doing that.
Is Eleanor looking at the?
She's looking out the north
sunset?
right now. Yeah, towards sunset.
It's a beautiful
You
sight.
Yes.
Do you miss the sea?
Does this
Brett?
one also show Praxel? Sorry.
Do I miss what now?
Do you miss the sea?
It does, Zeus.
I do miss the sea.
Is that
But-
something you plan to go back to someday?
I mean, depends on where the fates take us. Maybe once I've retired from saving the world, as it seems.
Understand that?
Saving the world? Well, I mean, that's
Yes.
quite the job to undertake.
I mean, that's what it sounds like we're undertaking, though.
Really, I actually don't know anything about what had happened with the. Was that having to do with the room in the basement?
Yes.
It's the first time I've seen that room. It's very exciting, really. I mean, the mansion's always been the same for us. Now, not only do we have people, but another room as well. Who knows what might happen next?
Oh, I don't like the sound of that. This sounds foreboding.
What are
then.
your plans, if I might ask? How long are you planning to stay?
Well, we were planning on resting and then seeing where the door might take us in the morning.
Is there a time limit on our occupancy?
No, of course not. You can
Perfect.
you can stay as long as you wish. The longer, the better. I mean, at
There's
least
no
for
rent,
us.
right?
Well, no, of course not.
Then I don't see
feel
why
like
we'd
we
ever
need
leave.
Well, of course, the key will only take you back, and of course, if you need to leave somewhere, then you'll have to use wherever the exit leads to. I wish I knew more.
Yeah,
but there's
so-
not a user's guide to the mansion.
That would have been
Perhaps
a
not
good
right one.
idea, actually. I don't know why
You
they
should
didn't do
work
that.
on that.
I should.
one of the
That would
projects-
give me something to do as well.
I'll add it.
Right. I mean, you tidied up the place. You've got the rooms done. We don't need anything, really, for now. Maybe a project for you, a hobby of sorts to start.
Well, in that case, I'll get right on it. Unfortunately, since I will have to conjure all the materials, the book will never be able to leave the manor. But it'll be here.
No, that'd be perfect, because
Yeah,
we wouldn't
perfect.
want any of our enemies to learn of
That's
how
a-
the manor works.
Enemies.
Well, there's always...
That's a fair question. Hey, Eleanor. I do so tired of ceaseless light.
Well, we can make the curtains drop for you if that's the
Okay,
problem. I
perfect.
mean,
Thank you.
it doesn't have to be this bright in here.
Mavis, are you going to show us your room now?
We're going to see Mavis's room.
Nope.
Mavis, are you... No?
Nope.
Okay, let's
We do that.
wait,
Mavis,
right?
Mavis.
my God.
Wait, right?
That shit right
I'm not ready.
No, you're not getting in there.
What do you mean?
I've got things I'm working on, and I don't want anybody messing with them. I got a very particular order, everything.
We're just taking a peek. We don't even have to enter. We can just look in.
Nope. Nope.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I can just touch this door right here. Like
You can touch it all you
my
want.
finger,
Mm,
touching
I-
it,
Yep. You
pushing
keep
it.
doing that as long as you want.
Does it not open? As I tried to push it.
Nope. You try to push on it. You can try, but it matches it. You try to push on the
Can I
door,
actually not
and
open this? I'm gonna
Nope.
stand over here and click it.
Oh my gosh. I
Oh, it's
love
locked.
it is locked currently.
How about we check out the other rooms?
Okay.
it. Oh my god, a whole new world. I love it.
Wait, what?
That's how I got stuck in the wall.
Wait,
Now I
you got
gotta
stuck-
go.
Did you say you're stuck in the wall?
No, that's how I got stuck in the wall, was I was zooming
Oh.
around with the arrow keys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I get stuck in the walls too. You're like. Sometimes you like end up like halfway in a tile and you're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Why can't I go down?
May, your room?
I'm stuck.
Are we doing a bit of show and tell? You don't have to if you don't want to.
I guess it's fine.
Personal
nothing
space is personal.
spectacular.
I mean, we looked at Car's room. Mavis was, Mavis.
Nothing like ours room. So.
I thought he said full of thongs, and I was like, what? I mean, she's in the
Zeus.
I was talking about Mavis's room. I was saying it's probably full of dolls as I whispered.
Oh!
Thongs. Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Well,
So confused.
Honestly, I think I appreciate the thongs more than the dolls.
That's another quote for the system.
Appreciate the thongs more than the dolls.
If you
Well,
prefer privacy, we don't have to look in there. I'm not showing anyone my room.
no, of course, sir. Anybody that wishes their room to remain private can choose to do so. However, you will have to let us know if there's anything you do not want us to see. Of course, we were the ones that have to rearrange the rooms in the first place.
Nah, if you plan on entering, no going through my walls, please.
Of course, sir. We have dedicated ourselves to using the doors now, as per your requests. He looks over at Gar.
Oh, also, question. How destructible are these balls?
Quite indestructible, sir. Well, of course not perfectly. With enough power, anything can be destroyed, unfortunately. But they should withstand more than your normal wear and tear.
Okay.
It's your normal wear and tear.
Normal.
Well, running into it with an object, a hammer, should not chip away at its stone.
How about a drill?
an explosion.
Using
What
a
are you
drill.
An explosion. An explosion would be a bit more difficult, but I'm certain the mansion would not receive any permanent damage, or at least hopeful.
How about a drill?
To reinforce the walls, even just a small section.
I'll get right on it. He turns around and
Ah.
starts going.
There would be.
Yes, just
Well,
reinforce
neat.
Mavis's
Oh.
room and soundproof it while you're at it.
Actually, it's not a bad idea.
Eleanor comes up to you.
Explosions?
Hobbies.
crazy.
His hobbies.
I find charcoal in my hair. Put it in my bag.
There's a small blacker section of Mavis's
I
blue
feel like
hair
you'd be
now.
like, huh.
Still
Virtually,
good.
yeah.
Cool.
It's a quality.
Actually, I'm gonna go get started. If I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
make this
suppose
in
I should
time.
ask, is there anybody's rooms that should remain private? I mean, we didn't
Mine.
ask. You gave us the specifications when you told us about the room, of course, but
Indeed, I did.
I mean, I just assumed what with everyone arriving at once and all, everyone being planeswalkers, that, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pry, but that it would be no problem.
No
If,
problem with me.
Some of us enjoy our privacy a bit more.
of course,
Yes,
and
we do.
you all have that right
There's
to.
doors for a reason. It's when you want privacy, you can have it.
Of course. Well, we are not in charge of this tour. I suppose you may go where you wish. This is much different for us. We're experiencing these rooms for the first time as well. The music stopped.
You should get the piano looked at.
Oh, actually,
I believe May has a mixtape you can maybe introduce me to the piano.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take a
Coming out on Thursday.
Mention down, alright? It's too fire.
I believe she said it was on something called the SoundCloud.
that
Oh yes, those are
sounds
next to the
ridiculous.
cloud spires.
Are we
I still hear
touring your
waves.
room, May? That's because my door is open, I believe.
No, I shut it.
Oh, I still hear it too.
Yeah.
You hear the waves?
Yeah, I still
Yeah,
hear
we
waves.
hear the
Oh,
waves.
it's because you're so close to the room. If you move further this way.
No, I still hear waves.
I heard it when I
Yeah.
was in my room.
I can
Yeah,
still hear it
there-
too.
Here, I'll disable it
Oh,
for
there
now.
you go.
I don't. Oh, you disabled it.
Yeah, I
was
don't know
like,
why
"Wait
it's
over
being
here,
this way.
Don't hear it.
What about now?
Oh,
Yeah.
I
I
hear
hear
it.
it.
Okay, so I just got to disable him. That's weird.
It's okay.
It
Weird.
was
didn't
working
hear it.
before. What the heck?
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm gonna
It's like we had to
go
remake.
in my room, but if you want to come, you can.
Wait, only
If you
you
don't want
the
to
show.
share, yeah.
It's all right.
Oh. From what I can tell, it looks very divine.
Is that a body bag?
As you guys enter the room, there is
Yeah.
a beautiful woven pattern of a bright wood flooring. Everything is pared down. The mattress itself is actually on a small platform of wood, much closer to the ground. It's not on a stand or anything of the sort. The table itself, I think, sits pretty low as well, almost like you're meant to sit on the floor in front of it, right? There is a small... What's this thing called? Chalet or something?
I forgot what that thing's called. You know, the fancy French seating
Yeah,
area.
it's
like
a
That's what it is.
Yeah, that thingy.
That's a therapist couch.
It looks
What I do.
on one side, and there
You
are
wanna put the
two...
Wizard Tower music when we're up here.
Hmm?
It really
Space
clashes. with this.
lounge.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I don't
it-
actually
and
hear it.
clashes.
Here, I got you.
Oh, thank you. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Is this like a little fountain?
Yes.
There is a fountain in the corner of the room with a few lily pads and almost like cherry blossoms on top of them, actually.
Lotus flowers.
Lotus.
Oh, flowers. Okay, those ones are flowers. Make a nature check for me, Zeos.
Okay.
I think it is.
May's just standing here awkwardly.
Yeah.
Everyone's in my room.
They're okay. Close inspection, pretty much right off the bat. You can tell they're not real flowers. Probably for the same reason that Eleanor mentioned earlier. They can only recreate things in an inorganic nature, but it still looks very real. Two marble pillars, beautiful construction,
Wow.
rise.
It is.
Let me make sure it's not.
You can go into your music thing individually.
Is that better?
And change the ambient.
I can turn it down a
Oh,
little bit
yeah.
more.
You can.
Oh, I
you
can. Just
yeah, you
check.
can adjust
Yeah.
ambient.
Yeah.
It was folded up for me.
I was just thinking compared
Ah.
to others though, like
Yeah, I usually
I've
try to
had
keep it as
max
background
the whole time,
ambiance.
so
I totally forgot about that. I turned it down a little bit. I think that's a little better.
I put
Let's
my
see.
well actually no I don't. Is it I'll turn around and look at me, I'm like, is this real water? Or actually, is Eleanor with us?
Eleanor she's kind of looking around the room. She's admiring one of the marble pillars and looking down at the stained glass reflection on the floor.
I look at her, I'm like, is this real water?
Oh, well, of course it's real water. It's the same thing that we can conjure downstairs.
Do you think there was an illusion of a vaulted ceiling?
Yeah,
Ooh.
totally. Yeah, whichever one you wanted it to be. I can't remember that part in particular.
How does the ceiling look then?
Compared to the typical 10-foot ceilings that you've been seeing outside on this top floor, how tall was the vault? Like probably an extra 5 to 10 feet.
Vaulted ceilings are wild.
Okay, I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, it depends.
It probably
That's why
would
I'm
look
asking.
like 20, 25 feet up, depending.
Okay.
You would feel like you're in a cathedral.
Mm.
But like
Yep.
those kind of vaulted ceilings.
I
Looking
really
at
want to open this door.
looking at the windows.
That
That's
was
the whip
window
room,
shot.
isn't it?
Huh? Oh. Looking at the windows, looking outside, even though there is a stained glass reflection on the floor, much like you would expect to find in a grand cathedral or something of the sort, looking outside, there's actually a very simple view of... It's looping, right? Okay, good. A very simple view of nature, this almost Eastern vibe to it. I don't know how to describe it without using like real life terms. It definitely has an Eastern vibe to it. You can see cherry blossom trees peppered throughout. A almost like a... I don't remember the specifics of what you wanted this to look like outside. Like where? Is it seeing other...
Basically, you almost feel like you're in a small house on the top of a hill in the middle of a cherry blossom forest.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, that's the vibe that you're getting.
Ooh, this is so peaceful, May.
What-
Is
what's
it-
what's the book?
Which
The-
book?
This book.
That's my prayer book.
Oh, I figured so. Okay. And to be sure.
Is this reminiscent of where you grew up?
Well, I grew up in the Church of Elmater, so
You grew up
Was
in the
that-
church?
I was an orphan.
Oh. Wait, you were an
But you've
orphan,
mentioned-
but you had a father.
So you found your father later?
Well, Zeus, all children have parents. I just lost mine afterwards.
It's a beautiful sight, really. I feel like I could relax here.
Thanks.
Mm.
Well, glad you all enjoyed it.
Thank
What's
you.
down here?
Let's see.
The fountain?
No, through the store.
I believe that's the closet.
Oh yes, that should be the closet.
A closet. Dang, that's cool.
A few of the rooms have some different closets and things of the sort.
I didn't even think of adding a closet to mine. That's a great idea.
Your room can always change afterwards. So.
True.
Are these pillars?
They are. I didn't put up walls to block movement because you'd be really difficult to maneuver
Yeah, it would
around
be
in here.
really-
But they are actually pretty large, about 4 feet in diameter. Giant marble
Oh, dang.
pillars, ornate, that go all the way up towards the roof of this vaulted ceiling. The ceiling itself.
Pretty intense.
It is an
What-
You have a
interesting
very
mixture in
nice
here.
room.
It's a very interesting mixture. The floors are not what you would expect for the decor that you find everywhere else.
It's literally like if you took Gothic architecture as well as Eastern architecture and just put them both in the same place.
Exactly.
I like it.
Interesting.
I like it a lot. It's very nice.
Oh.
This is beautiful.
What are you doing to my closet?
Oh, nothing.
He booby trapped it.
Probably.
Oh. Laren,
Well done.
your room's around the corner, isn't it?
A little bit down the hall.
Do you want to show your room?
Sure.
Yours is across from mine, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's right. Mavis's is below us.
Yes, Mavis is the one that's.
I share a wall with.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Gunther's room as you open up that door. After
Right here?
She points towards this door.
Are they married?
Oh.
Isn't it their room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess technically it would be both. Never mind. Not good. What?
They
For
sleep
some
in
reason, I
separate
saw
beds.
2, and you.
Aw.
Yeah,
You
we-
know, after 1,000 years, you end up sleeping in separate beds.
I mean, it's
Spice
got
is
the
gone.
choice. Eleanor snores like a bear.
Aw, Rich, I love
This is so cozy.
As you guys enter, I have to turn the ambiance down again. It's like really loud.
There's not much to see.
As you guys enter this room, looking towards the south side of the room at the open window, looking out, you get a view that almost looks like you're looking out through the top of canopies of trees, out over a forest below. The walls themselves and the flooring, the very simple architecture and the plants in the corner and throughout the room almost give the vibe of like a tree house. The other thing that catches your attention is just over the table here, which has a couple books laid on it. There is an 8x8 grid of alternating colors. Make intelligence checks for me.
Rubik's Cube?
I'm just curious.
That's the first time popped in my head. You said intelligence?
Yep.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Yes! Actually, no, I'm happy about
You know
that.
what? No, that would still be
From
high enough.
outside
That would
sunset.
still be high enough because this is just so recognizable. I was just curious if there would be any fringe cases, but Mavis's intelligence is so high. So it's pretty noticeable right away. It's an alternating black and white squares. This is a chessboard.
Against,
So
like, up on the
chess
wall.
exists in this world.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
All
there's
right.
dragon chess.
Nathan's like, what?
Yeah, it's currently hung up on the
What
wall,
kind of
almost like the
fringe is-
equivalent of a picture, but it is your average size chessboard.
and you enjoy chess?
I do.
Perhaps we
Quite a
can play
lot, actually.
sometime.
I would like that. It has a particularly soft place in my heart.
Well, the decor in here turned out very nicely. The walls are actually, well, it looks like real wood even. Unfortunately, it can't be, well, it is a sort of real wood. It's just not alive, of course.
Alright. I need a boost.
Sure.
You boost him up. Mavis looking out, you do see the same sort of thing. It's like you're looking out over the canopies of trees. You definitely get the feeling of like a treehouse vibe within here.
Okay.
Looking out the window. And the ambiance itself within the room, you can hear the sounds of wind blowing through canopies and leaves of trees, almost in like the beginnings of summer.
Allergies. These walls are hypoallergenic.
That is a good question. Do they emit pollen?
Thankfully not. They are not alive.
That would suck.
Yes, it would.
Clarinet's caused an allergy.
I created my own demise.
Been a while since I've done chess. Good game. Good game.
I didn't know so many of you played.
I don't know what game you're talking about.
We could show you sometime if you're interested.
Game of strategy. It's.
Your strategy?
I think you might like it.
Well, this is pretty much it. There's
What kind of
not
plant?
really much to see. What's that?
What kind of plant?
What kind of plant is it, Josh?
That's a great question. What kind of plant is it, Gar? No.
Well, that is a hibiscus bush.
It smells delicious.
Hibiscus and gravy bush.
Hibiscus bush.
Yes. It's a thing
You know
where
what?
I'm
We'll say
from.
that it looks like the beginnings of what are those called? A deciduous tree, like in its infancy.
I like it. That is a deciduous tree in its infancy.
What,
What? I'm sorry, wrong voice. What are these?
You saw those when you entered. Those appear to be statues of angels of some sort. You've seen a few statues throughout the house at this point that Gunther and Eleanor have not known of any particular significance for, more decorum for the house.
Okay.
They were shrubs.
Oh, would you look at that?
The ambient sound actually works for her.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening,
Oh, that's awesome.
but I'll get it figured out.
I'm also still hearing the Manor song too, by the way, because my game has crashed about 3 times since we've been walking through.
The Manor song was supposed to be playing there because all you have right now, I did forget to mention, the other thing that you did hear in the room is a subtle notes of a flute playing in the background. Even though it's not there, I didn't have a proper song for it. That is what you would hear. No, you're fine. What you would hear amongst the sounds of leaves rustling.
Very nice. Last but not least,
Yes. I guess you want to see my room now. Mavis, you want to do the honors? Go for it.
I mean,
Why not?
is it trap?
No.
And you wanted me to
not
trigger a
at
trap?
all. Nope.
Inside check?
There is no
They
trap.
also
Also
rolled me.
investigate the door. Fuck me. gonna
Zeus,
work,
go ahead
guys.
and roll to me.
What am I rolling?
I'll tell
Either
you.
persuasion or deception. You're
Yeah.
lying to me.
I mean, you know which one is true. If it's true, you roll persuasion. If it's a lie, you roll deception.
Okay.
Mavis, you can't tell, but you get the feeling that he's being genuine.
Just locking eyes with him, I reach up, I grab the door handle, jimmy it, and open it.
Okay. as you open it up, you get the sense of falling all of a sudden, and you quickly catch yourself as you look down through a sea of clouds. Looking inside, it appears as though you are high in the sky. As you look out ahead of you, to your left, to your right, all around, it seems like endless sky.
So you wanted me to think that I was falling. That's why you chose me.
I mean, you wouldn't let me in your room.
It's a good trick.
You didn't let me in your room, so I figured I'd let you go into the skybox.
That's a big nope from me.
Mavis, no, as you enter, there is a solid floor. It appears to be just a really well-constructed illusion. It's not, once you're inside, like a perfect illusion. It doesn't actually perfectly feel like the sky, probably because the manor's enchantments are not powerful enough for such a thing, but it passes. It passes the vibe well enough. In the center of the room, there is a round blue pillow just laying, almost seemingly floating in the clouds.
Is this where you sleep?
Well, I don't normally sleep, so this is
Oh,
where
that's
I
right.
meditate.
I can't help but notice this room seems smaller than it should.
Well, it's just my meditation room. And I sit on my pillow.
Are there
You
any
guys
doors?
have a good night.
As you look around, there are no doors because there doesn't even seem to be any walls at first glance. As you get close to the wall is only when you can start to feel the presence of one, which is why there is actually an outline to the room here if you were to approach them. Otherwise, standing from further away, it looks just like endless sky.
Are all of you currently in the room?
Just me and Zeus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, just wanted to make sure because I was like, my game would be really lagging then.
Good luck waking up from falling dreams and then actually falling. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good
What
night.
time? Is it actually like nighttime out the windows now?
As you look out the windows, after about another 45 minutes or so of everything that's happened, it looks like just the later portions of sunset just fading.
Do I see Eleanor or Gunther as I'm heading to my room?
Yeah, you would pass by Gunther as Eleanor has entered her room and is already starting on a certain project.
Gunther,
Yes, sir. How may I be of service?
I realize we asked you to do all these things for our rooms. You two should feel free to decorate it however you feel.
Well,
Your
sir,
room.
I like the room, however the manor has placed it. You see, I am perfectly comfortable with wherever I sleep. And you see, I used to sleep within the walls, so it makes no difference to me. However, if you would prefer them to be changed in some way for us, you may put in a request.
Check with your wife. Maybe she has some ideas.
Of course, sir. A wonderful idea. Will there be anything else?
Nope. Just remember to use the doors. Thank you.
Yes, sir. He goes over and uses the door almost like very explicitly.
Eleanor, what are you doing here?
Wait. Oh no! She walks through the wall. I just left the.
I'm not that type of dragonborn.
So.
Can we bathroom break as we take a...
Yeah, that would be
go to
perfect,
sleep?
actually. I just started feeling this. So.
I actually also need to restart my computer while we do this because it's been crashing like nonstop for me, just going black screen and then the stream is stopping. So
Sure. Okay.
it's
Floor doesn't perfectly feel like the sky. Gee, I wonder why. Fair point, Joel. All right, chat. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long restarts and everything take. And
Josh,
then
help me.
What?
I can't get in my room.
Oh, that's right.
It's too private.
There you go.
You locked it so good, even you couldn't get in.
Nathan's bare ass room.
All right,
All right.
I will be right back. I'm gonna restart.
Me as well. We'll be back soon, chat.
What did this man do to my closet?
What is this you linked, Dello? Oh. Well, you're not alone no more, baby. How you doing? You tired? I feel you. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh man. Damn, you busy. Oh, did you get you got a new job? I saw that you had finished streaming. I meant to stop by that stream, but we were on actually D&D with Bit at that time. Nice. I'm sorry to hear it's kicking your ass, but I'm glad to hear you got a job. That's awesome. Where'd you get what is the new job? Oh, you're moving. Restaurant, but nice.
Alrighty. Let me see here.
Welcome back, brother.
Thanks, brother. Let me see. Catch up with Open a calculator. Hello, my name is Ben. It's perfect. Hello, Dello. How's it going, mate? I know this is not a Saturday. You are correct. We had to reschedule. And I got so many bare asses. Oh, he needed a whole room.
Yeah, I got a collection.
Work is kicking my ass. Yes, sir. I'm just working extra hours right now once I move in August. Oh, where are you moving, Della? It's a restaurant position, yeah. And now you're getting a condo in August. Congrats, man. That'll be fantastic.
How worried should I be that Tina's watching How to Get Away with Murder for like the second or third time?
It's probably
it's totally fine.
It's probably fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's innocent.
100% innocent.
If it's not like evening, I would actually start on it then, Josh.
Sure. You still yeah, you still have a little bit of time.
Okay.
Mavis, make me an intelligence check.
How that's been going recently is probably not gonna be good.
Sorry, guys.
You should be.
Okay.
I know I am.
In southern New Hampshire, about 40 minutes from where you live now. Nice. Hello, Joel. Welcome back. So.
Does that tell me anything or?
No, it does not.
Balls. All right. Copy that.
As you guys, Mavis, I'll say you get about 3-4 hours of working.
Okay. From what you described to me. Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
Josh, for me, I would, if we have like 3 or 4 hours before like normal rest time, I would probably trance, then do some study, and use that extra time to study more on the Sylvan book.
Sure. Yeah, that's not a problem. You can trance in there for 4 hours, and light activity won't affect that. Make me an intelligence check, Zeos.
Oh boy. Oh, I keep freaking checking my constitution checkbox every time I try to click on. Ability private? Yeah, let's make it private.
You don't have to, but if you want to.
Thank God I made it private.
All right, you're fine. Yep.
Smart cookie.
It's
I don't know what you're
normal.
talking
The
about.
world is normal right now.
You know, lots happened over the last day and a half. My mind's a little sidetracked.
Yes, indeed. It has changed a lot. the rest of you, after about 4 hours, Mavis, you're able to find your way off to sleep. Is anybody doing anything else before heading to bed?
Biddy's choppy.
Because as you finish with all of your tours, sun has just set, so you still have a few hours before you would normally feel that.
I will message you this privately, probably first. You can see if it's something that should be said.
Okay. Okay. For how long?
Hour?
Okay. Unless somebody hits me with something in particular, that probably won't be affected.
Okay.
But, yep.
I don't give that urge to go to Laren's.
I know, right? It's weird.
I mean, it's up with you if you want to.
For a whole
I mean,
hour?
if you want to. May, Gar.
How they're feeling.
I'm messaging you.
Okay.
How long would it take for what I met you?
For that portion, only about 20 minutes. I mean, with how quickly no, not even, probably more like 10. With how quickly they took care of everything else in here, no time at all.
Then I might get started on that.
Okay, for a few hours or something.
Yeah, and then probably take a bath and go to bed.
Make me an athletics check.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay. It's like muscle memory. It goes exactly as planned, and you're kind of happy that nothing fell away. Maybe I could have chosen better wording. I could have probably chosen better wording. You know what?
It fell out. Oh no.
Oh, I'm gonna pray and then I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay.
Also, the song did not repeat.
You are correct. Thank you, Foundry.
I have to have it off when I'm in my room, or it just sounds like
true.
craziness.
That's true. You can turn the playlist volume all the way down while you're in there.
I did.
Nice. Good idea. So, as you guys all eventually find your way off to bed, Zeos, this isn't unusual for you. You get a normal trance in, meditation. As you open your eyes, it's kind of strange, and for a second you feel your stomach drop as you look down at the sky, and then it all comes back to you. That's right. This is fine. You look around your room, and serenity. It is so peaceful in this, just with the sounds of like the wind above you, and that's like it.
I think the sounds broke again for the room.
Yes, it did.
I don't hear nature sounds anymore.
Yeah, I don't know why. I can do this actually. However, it'll be a little weird for a second. There's that, and then that. This should work at least. Yeah? Yeah?
Let me leave and come back.
Probably not.
Nope.
Okay. That's like the one sound that's not replaying for some reason.
Weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah, and then I whispered you what the other stuff I was gonna do. So
let me double check.
If you saw that.
I think I did. Oh, okay. Yep, that makes sense. The rest of you.
Sorry, real quick.
No, you're good.
When I was talking to Gunther, I would have asked him if there's a way for us to add like a pass, like personal individual passphrases that would lock our door to anybody else. So that way they'd be private when we wanted them to be private.
Interesting. There's a spell that does that, isn't there? That's Arcane Lock. Yeah, that's what I used for on Gimbal when I designated Glor to be the word for it. So he would tell you that it is probably possible, but given that that's a stronger enchantment, a second level spell, it isn't within the mansion's base capability. However, if an item were provided, he might be able to use its power for that.
Say it, Arcane Lock.
I have Arcane Lock. I fucking... I'm a fool.
After everything we went through. So...
Alright.
Let's see. You all find yourselves off to sleep. The thing that's interesting is that it is a dreamless sleep throughout the entire night. Not a single dream that you can recall whatsoever. You wake up at the end of the normal amount of time. And you look out your windows, and it is in the middle of nighttime, like dead of night.
I think something's broken.
I say to myself as I look out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta actually hit long rest too.
Yes, everybody make sure you
Wait,
hit
whatever.
long rest. Zeus, you... I'd say because of everything you're doing, actually, mainly because of your intelligence roll, you don't notice this. No, wait, after enough time passed, you would notice, though. Yeah, after enough time passes. Okay, let's go here.
Why am I private EM rolling?
Oh my god. I just saw that. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, let me make sure... Did everybody hit long rest?
Can I?
You can.
Okay.
No.
No, my spell slots right. All 6 of them. I'm a paladin for some reason. Okay.
Heyo.
So as you all wake up, you all notice. Zeus, I would say after a few hours of study within the Sylvan book, and I'll say you get another 4 hours in on that.
You're keeping track of it. I have lost all track of it.
No, you're good. I have that written down. I'll say you get another 4 hours in before you, like, your biological clock starts telling you the rest of my group is probably up around this time. As you all kind of find yourselves waking up, it is the dead of night outside your windows.
That's strange. Ask them to keep track of the material plane's time of day. I'll make my way out of the room. Whose room is closest to mine?
Probably May's, or pretty much May, Laren, and Zeus are all about equidistant.
Oh, was Mavis able to get into his room, by the way? I
Yeah.
missed that. Okay, good.
But I can't get it out now.
Escape room.
I'll just stand in the hall then and just kind of shout out, team.
Oh, you call us. Literally, I was turning the corner. Hi, Gar. Why is it nighttime outside? I thought you told him to keep it, like, to the actual day. There's no way I slept only 2 hours.
Those were my words exactly when I woke.
Good morning, I think.
It's
Doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like it. It feels like it.
I feel a little rested.
You see the door open to Gunther and Eleanor's room as Gunther walks out. I'm sorry. Good morning, everyone. How may I be of
It's not.
service?
What's going on here?
Looks like that. It's
Well,
not morning.
you asked us to reflect the proper time of the material plane. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention. Being in here for over 1,000 years, it all sort of warps. Time works differently in the half-world. Many things work differently in the half-world. Well, for one, you do not dream. For another, time moves twice as quickly, meaning half the amount of time passes in the material plane while you're here.
This is great news.
That would have been very useful information.
Yes, my
last
apologies.
night.
There are many things that we simply take for granted after being here for, well, so long.
Oh, Gunther, I'm gonna need you to do better.
It was slightly
My
bothering
apologies,
me, but
sir.
I was like, what the heck is going on? He's like, when you guys came in, the sun was setting. And
Yep.
Gar was like, oh, the sun would have been set then. And then you're just like, and now when you look out the window, the sun is starting to set. I'm like,
Yeah. Yep.
but I didn't hear any of this because I'm not there.
Correct.
That means that I could actually finish it in half the time, relatively.
Finish
So
what,
we
sir?
have on my project that I
Well,
that
I
is
suppose
going
so.
to be debuting at the. You probably don't even know what it is. I don't know why I'm explaining it to you.
Oh, my apologies,
Forget I
sir.
said anything.
The inventory.
I know not what this is, unfortunately.
Very good.
However, I will
Um,
commit it to memory. Inventory. Of course, sir.
So
Just like that, you remember.
Well, I shall try my best. I suppose there's no better way for me to go about it. If it is
Actually-
pertaining to our new masters, I shall do my utter best to remember whatever you ask me to.
That brings up a point. What abilities do the two of you have besides taking care of this house? What languages do you know? Do you have any skills by chance?
Well, I myself have skills pertaining to the manor. I used to be a butler, or at least I must have. I've always preferred this attire as such. Skills outside of this would not be required here. The languages I speak are, well, common.
When you said languages, I expected there to be multiple, as that is a plural word.
I'm sorry.
Fair point, Gar.
He was like, "Oh, I could give him another language. Common. That's the normal language."
Sorry, sir, I don't know
you know
common very well.
Does Eleanor speak only common as well?
She's only ever spoken it to me.
Eleanor?
You see her open the other door, where on the other side now you see a writing desk already set up in the room off to the right side. An open book in the process of being written in, and an ink and quill off to the side.
Yes, how can I help?
Do you speak any other languages besides common?
Oh. Now that I think about it, no, I've only ever spoken common. I suppose it might be possible that I used to. I never really
Try
had
to
to
speak
speak.
Draconic to them. I'll just say, do you understand me?
Interesting.
I was gonna do the same exact thing with Gnomish. Actually, I just went to a Gnomish translator to actually say it out loud, but
Give me a second.
Didn't I say some weird stuff one time for Draconic? It was like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Probably thanks to Vex. Hakatui was her special word, yeah. They both kind of look at each other and look back towards you.
What language is that?
Yes, unfortunately, I don't believe that is one I might have spoken before.
I don't think I've ever heard you speak it either.
You've heard me a time or two.
Oh, to the kobold. What was his name? Oh, the one that we saved.
Steve.
That was
was
an
a
utter
campaign.
train wreck. He was a goblin, and his name was Tarthik.
So we've never come across a kobold.
Yeah. I was thinking of your campaign.
Yeah.
Yes.
his name was
Bunkers and Badasses. That's
His name was... Wasn't his name Spurt?
Spurt.
Yeah.
Spurt.
Yeah.
Um,
Good times.
Right.
Spurt
Well,
was
that
flat.
actually is great news.
What are you all doing out here?
Trying
Good morning,
Figure
sir.
out
Trying to
why
figure
it's
out why it looks
really
like
deep.
that.
Like what? Oh,
Nighttime. Evidently, it's because, well, time passes by half as fast here as it does in the material plane.
Yes, the half-world itself is, well, quite unique among the planes.
When an hour passes in the material plane, half an hour passes here.
Other way around, sir. Oh, no. No, that is
was
correct.
right.
Wait, what?
It was the first way he said it was wrong.
Yeah, I said it to Joel, and I
Hour
was...
here.
Yeah. So 1 hour here is
Half
half
an
an
hour.
hour there.
No, because that would
No.
mean the long...
That would mean it's passing twice.
No,
as
yes,
fast.
that is correct.
That
So
is
that's
correct.
That means you
So
can
if a
spend
half
an hour
passes
here.
Oh, yeah,
out
you're right.
there,
See,
right.
an
Joel
hour
and I were like trying to come up with the wording on this because both...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird to word. You get
So-
twice as much time here.
So if we spend 24 hours here, only half a day passes in the material plane.
That is correct, sir.
Cool.
Very useful.
All right, so I'm
Would've
gonna
been-
go back to study.
I'm gonna get back to work.
I mean, if we're all rested, should we?
Oh yes, we could do that thing that we wanted to do about checking the door.
So
We
check
should at
the
least figure
door.
that out, and then
Oh,
we
you
can
wanted
figure
to-
out how long.
You wanted to contact the others.
Yes,
Yes,
I could speak with Torin and actually.
Gunther, what time is it actually?
Well, I suppose about 4 hours have passed. Should be approaching just about midnight or into the early
Probably
stages
best
of
to
the
wait
night.
a while to contact.
True.
That actually gives me a little bit more time to work on
You don't see her.
what I need to.
I would go knock on her door and say, well, actually, what if I wake her? She might be sleeping.
He's probably doing our morning rituals and prayers.
May gave the look of like, say it, bitch.
Morning flagellation.
Saw a bundle of clothes in the closet. Maybe that's where the whips were kept under. I don't know.
I'm gonna go make sure she's all right.
Okay.
All right, you do that. I'm gonna holler if there's anything special that happens or when we're ready to
We can
go.
at least just step outside and see where it takes us. We don't need everyone for that. Be able to pop right back in.
Of course, sir. Just ensure that you take the key with you. This, of course, must be the only way back.
I've got it.
If you should require our services, you know where we are.
I do.
If it has us right to the inventory, that'd be perfect. Okay, yeah, I'm in.
All right, meet you down there.
Laren, as the rest of them go downstairs, May, you hear a knock on your door. That was good.
Wasn't too bad.
It echoes in her cathedral-like room.
Actually, though.
May?
May I enter?
Are you...
God dang it.
Sorry, I'll shut up.
Do I hear anything on the other end, by the way? Like, would I have to roll perception, or?
You can roll perception for me.
Okay.
You don't startle her.
Don't hear much of anything on the other side, except for the vague little bits of ambiance of a song playing that you remembered you were hearing while you were in there.
May, are you all right? Maybe I'm really tempted to open the door, but I don't want to.
I don't see any blood.
Is there people?
Not on these doors. Yeah, it works in reverse. It only allows you to see in, you know, not out.
All right, ruling that out. Okay.
Is there a gap between the floor and the door?
That's true.
You just walk up there and see her like face against the floor, taking a cat nap.
The construction in this mansion is very
opening
precise.
The door, Larry's on the ground going.
Hi. You know, we could talk if you wanted to.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Okay. I so badly want to crack the door, but I don't want to barge in on her. Okay. I would start to slightly open the door. Is it even unlocked? Can I do that?
Would you have locked your door the night before? I didn't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's unlocked.
Okay. I would just slowly start to open the door. Ask her, like...
Make me a perception check.
Do what? Do a what check?
Well,
Do I notice her?
That depends. Are you sleeping?
I messaged you.
Oh. Oh, there it is. Oh, well. It's so weird because all the symbols are here. I need to deactivate Polyglot until it's fixed. Oh. Okay, let me answer this first.
I just want to make sure she's alive.
Laren, make me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Pretty easily, you can look over and you see, excuse me. You can see May sitting on that sofa in front of the table. She seems to, there we go. She seems to be holding a pillow on her lap and staring up at the vaulted ceiling.
Just staring?
Mm-hmm. Not like, you know, puddle of drool or anything like that. Like, she looks normal. You know?
I would walk up to her.
You'd notice her then.
Yeah, I was like, do I?
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely do.
I'm just out.
As you look at May, due to that perception check for sure, you can tell she looks like she has like dark circles under her eyes. It doesn't look like she slept very well.
May, are you alright?
possibly tomorrow.
Did something happen?
I'm a terrible sleeper.
I've never seen you look like this before, though.
That happens on occasion.
Hmm. All right. Is this anything? Is this anything you want to talk about?
So then, you left your home, didn't you?
Yes, but not. Yes. Yes.
Was
you-
it bad? Or was it liberating?
To leave?
Mhm.
Liberating.
I left my home when I was really young. And it was not liberating.
Was it by force?
You could say that. And so, sometimes I have bad dreams.
I'm sorry. Being an orphan, I can't imagine how that must have been for you.
It was, really tough in the beginning, but there's nothing you can do to change it, so.
If it's any consolation, I know a little bit of how you feel. I was not necessarily an orphan, but I was given up on early on. Even though there were many so-called family around me, I was treated more as a tool.
I could understand that. Sometimes I feel like I'm just a tool of the church.
So following your mater, that Frankie, I love you.
You look over, you see a cat on the ground. You're like, Frankie.
Yeah, I just say that to May through the window. So following your mater, was that your choice?
I suppose in the end it was. But it was more of an ultimatum.
Mm. So the force you spoke of.
This was different. Back in Trigate, our Reverend Mother, who was lovely and stern, she gave me an option. She said, you can carry the weight of all your suffering for the rest of your life, or you could give it to Ilmater. Eventually, I gave it to Ilmater.
Hmm. Did that help?
In a way, it did. But, as you can see, I still have nightmares.
I understand that. Well, would you like to?
Everyone up already? It's still dark out.
Yes, we are. If you're feeling up to it, would you like to join us for some breakfast? If that's, I imagine, how we're starting our day. I don't actually know.
Like normal people. Mavis isn't though. He springs or something.
Gears, thank you very much.
I was thinking gears and I couldn't get the word out. So I
Season with springs, though. Season with springs.
Your season was springs.
Springs are a delicacy.
True.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gears with the gears are the cereal. And you gotta get the oil as
Delicious.
the fluid.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, I can't even.
And don't forget about the best string, the springs on top. It's like the sprinkles, it's the springs on top.
There you go. Full meal.
Yep.
Frankie's being adorable. What the hell?
I know.
Look at her. Oh,
Adorable.
I would just stand up, put the pillow back where it was, gesture for the door, and just like look at the ceiling one more time.
sure.
Head out.
Okay.
As you guys make your way downstairs, what are the three of you guys doing exactly?
We left.
So you pretty much just did that right away.
Kitty.
Well,
Yep,
we
we
were
were
trying to, yeah. I think we just decided that we could just pop out and in.
Yep.
Okay. Gunther would have been waiting downstairs, as he kind of tends to just hover around everyone throughout the day, off and on, seeing if his services are needed at all. Whereas Eleanor right now seems to be writing up a user's guide. Or something of the sort.
Hitchhiker's
Do
Guide
that
to
for the next
those
1,000
things.
years.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, God damn it, I gotta do homework now.
As you guys approach the front door, Gunther mentions, in order to leave, you'll have to use the key on the lock first. You see, the door does not open into the half-world directly. It must open to wherever it is connected to.
You
So
said you
if we
still.
wanted to walk around the half world, sorry.
Oh,
No, you could-
you would not want to
Thought
do
you
that,
are
sir.
one.
The half-world itself is quite volatile, and
Right,
well,
but you said anybody could. If anybody could transverse it, it'd be planeswalkers.
they can, sir, but you must understand this does not mean it is entirely safe. You see, there are... Well, we have
So
heard...
if we were to open that door, would it take us straight into the half plane?
You could not exactly just simply open that door. There would have to be... What is the correct word? I suppose overrides to be able to allow it to open into the half-world.
Apparently,
I
there's
would-
some sort of shield around this place. I've already
The
asked if I can
half-world-
crack my window.
The half-world itself is, well, formless in nature. No one quite knows how terrain is formed. However, terrain that seems to defy the laws of physics itself seem to be present out there. And there are rumors of a creature that hunts planeswalkers, that lives out there.
In the half-world?
Within the half-world itself, yes, sir.
So there is actually something to traverse within the half-world. It's
There
not
is
just
indeed.
nothingness.
Well, it is a bit strange to describe.
How
Well,
much
this-
about the ethereal plane do I know?
Make me an Arcana check. Just to tell you, like, what I would give you an overview of. Because you know at least what you experienced when you cast Blink.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing about the ethereal plane that you know is it itself, within the Great Wheel cosmology, which is a depiction of the planes, the known planes, sort of... Let me actually bring up the image so that I can describe this properly.
Well, so personally, I know there's the inner and the outer, and when you use blink, you're in the outer.
Where is it? There we go. The ethereal plane. Hold the phone, please.
But I'm more so
Okay.
wondering what my knowledge of the inner is.
So the ethereal plane itself actually lies between the material plane and its echoes and the elemental planes. It doesn't necessarily deal directly with the outer planes, at least not as directly. It is a sort of copy of the material plane, or
Or am I thinking of a different plane?
the astral plane is a little bit different. That has to
am
deal
I
with the
thinking
outer
astral
planes.
Plane?
The
That's
astral
the inner and
plane,
the outer.
yeah, exactly. The astral
Okay.
plane is for the
I was
outer,
thinking of the
ethereal is
astral
for the
plane.
inner.
Not the- not
And the ethereal
the,
plane actually is what comes to mind for you because it almost sounds similar to the half world. It lies
yeah,
between.
That's what I was thinking.
It lies
So
between.
It's like the astral plane where it has the outer. Would it be? Would I know about the way you move through the astral plane?
Ooh, you probably haven't done a whole lot of research on that. That would be a
Okay.
different Arcana check for that. It'd be pretty high DC, but you can make it if you want to, or history check.
wait.
Sorry, not Arcana.
They're the same, so it really
Alrighty
doesn't
then.
matter.
Yeah. You've
Exact
done.
same roll.
Yeah, you've done a little bit of research, but not enough to really have a conclusion on that. The ethereal plane, though, strikes you as similar, but the thing that's different about it is the ethereal plane. People can travel to it. In theory, that would mean that there would be the half-world in between the material and ethereal as well. It almost seems like this is something that most people shouldn't even know exists unless you can traverse to it as a planeswalker.
It's not like we love every little. Speedy agrees.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What was the last thing that was asked to Gunther?
I don't think we.
He talked about
just that
we're just
that
talking
there
about
was a physical or something to traverse within the half world.
right.
You said that we would have to take down some or override something of the sort to do that.
Essentially, sir. Yes, I assure you, there's not much that you would need to look for out there, and
Well,
of course, this
see.
creature that hunts planeswalkers is always a constant danger.
What kind of creature is it?
I'm not sure. I've never seen it, and only rumors of its existence.
Does it
Only
not have a
between you
name?
and your wife.
Well, yes, I suppose so. It is almost as though we knew of its existence when we were here. I suppose it could have been imparted to us when we were assigned our post,
So perhaps it was common knowledge of the First Age and
or at
lost.
the very least of planeswalkers.
Were you guys planeswalkers?
I'm not entirely sure, but I know more about them than I suppose I should if I was not within their ranks.
Makes sense. Well, okay. So we open up the door and we go. You don't know where.
Correct, sir. However,
Okay,
we shall be
sounds
here
like
on the
an
other side. As
We're
you...
not back in 5 minutes. Let the women know
Of course, sir. I will be right
to
on
go on without us.
it. Sir,
And not
go on to where?
Don't let him get in my room, even if we die. It's still
sir,
off limits.
based on the locks that you told us to put in place, I'm certain they would not be able to.
That's right.
As you guys place the key into... It's locked.
Even I can't get out of it.
It's true, he has to whisper me. I just got a whisper that said "hlep," and I knew what he needed. Give me 1 second. This one. Okay. As you guys open or insert key into the lock on this mansion door, the runes on the outside of the... what do we call that? The fob of the key begin to light up. As you turn the key, the door opens on its own, and a bright light is let through. As it opens all the way, you see just a white plane ahead of you, I suppose.
I
A
need to
white
make
threshold,
a
that's the
BD40.
word.
I'll go first. And I cast Shield of
After
Faith
you,
on
leader.
myself,
Okay.
just in case.
You have the key, right?
Mm-hmm.
He do.
Okay, yeah. I was going to suggest the person with the key goes first.
Yeah.
Because I was very tempted to walk in first, and I was like, no. Because if I walk in first and I don't have the key and you shut that door behind me, god damn you all.
So, as you walk
I would
through...
follow right after Garland.
I'm rushing it. I want to go second. Sprinting after Gar goes in.
Yeah, and I just pick Mavis up like, nope.
Make dexterity checks for me.
Are you kidding me?
Make dexterity checks, I'm curious.
Davis would just like run through it.
You said dexterity checks? Josh?
Yeah, dexterity checks for
Oh,
both
let's
of you.
go.
Let's see who goes through
I can't
first.
roll
Yeah.
shit. I can't roll it all the way. He's betraying me again.
So, Mavis, you get ready, you look up at Zeus, you're like, no, I'm going to make it first. And as soon as you do, this arm just pushes right in front of your face, and you try to swat it away, and as you go to, he's already through. You're like, this bitch, and you walk all the way through as quickly as you can.
You know what I did? I just like blinded him with a minor mage hand. Just like
yes,
mage
mage
hand in
hand.
front of his face. He's like, oh, there's a hand.
High five.
As you guys walk through, you're presented with a dark room. Because of the time of day, it is currently completely night out. Looking around, there appears to be rubble of stone everywhere. This is not where you entered from. This room itself probably is about 20 feet in diameter. There is a passageway directly behind you. As you look behind you, you see what you've walked out of is a dilapidated, albeit still sturdy and formed, stone doorway with runes all along its edges. Looking back past the doorway, you see a tunnel that must have at one point been used to reach where you are that is completely caved in. Ruin has found this place in its entirety. And looking out towards directly ahead of you as you exit the doorway, you see little bits of moonlight poking through what must be overgrown vines on the other end of this room, which means there must
What's
be
the temperature like?
cool, like what you would expect for a night in this time of year, which is about a summer night.
Do we actually hear birds?
You do.
Okay. You said that we see moonlight.
You do see a little bit of moonlight poking through just a few. Yeah, by dilapidated, I guess not so much in its construction, but rather in its appearance. Like, there are chunks of it missing, but it still looks like, of anything in this room, this doorway stands pretty upright. Yeah, at the other end, though, there are some vines overgrown completely, and as you approach towards them just a little bit, you see the floor actually appears to have fallen out over whatever you're currently standing towards, walking towards. There's a little bit of about a 5-foot gap between where the floor has fallen out and the edge of these vines.
If I look down, is there an end?
If you look down, it's difficult to tell because the vines themselves completely cover whatever this is, even going all the way down.
I'm pretty sure. Hold up, I gotta double check this to be sure that I actually have this.
So
Okay.
we're like in a cave-like thing that just comes out to vines that just go down to black.
You can see the bottom of where this floor has fallen away as it's kind of like a gradual slope. Probably about 60 feet down is where the slope meets the vines again. It looks like this was all one solid wall at some point.
Okay. So yeah, I take a little rock and just kind of tap
Well,
it.
it's all traversable, from what it sounds like.
It's
it just slopes
traversable.
down?
It slopes down at probably about a 70-degree angle.
Oh, okay, so it's very steep.
Very steep. Yeah.
I tap a little rock with my rock hammer, and it's just emitting like a very low light now, and so I drop it down the hole.
It's not necessarily a hole. Let me describe it a little differently. Think of it like if the floor directly in front of you, about 5 feet of it were missing, and as you look down at the edge of what's still available, it slopes towards where the floor would have ended. So it's like a giant wedge taken off of the side of a building.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. And about how far down? You said 60 feet?
Probably about 60 feet, yeah.
Do I
damn.
hear any
Make me a perception check, though.
or any what could be snoring or like beasts,
Good question.
anything like that?
I'm gonna take a look at the runes on the door.
Sure. Perception checks, all right, nice. Zeos, make me an Arcana check. Are you looking for something in particular or just kind of general analysis?
Well, I noted down the exact runes of the door we entered, so I'm going to check if they match the runes that I have.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check for this one. With advantage, since you have a reference. Okay.
21.
So let's start with that one. The runes are almost identical, with the exception of a single rune at the top.
Okay,
It's
I'd make
just-
note.
Sure.
Of that.
Mavis and Gar, as you kind of listen for anything, with the exception of the sounds of nature, nothing really stands out to you here. However, Gar, because of that perception check, you notice off to the right side a portion of this where it looks like there might be a small, maybe 2-foot wide walkway that can actually continue outwards toward out the vines.
Well, there seems to be a path there, but I vote we don't do any more exploring. The immediate area seems safe.
We told him we'd be
Please.
back in 5 minutes, and it's been almost 2.5 minutes here, which is 5 minutes there. So
Right, so we should head back in.
That's right, you forgot to
Insert
account
the
for
key.
timing. You actually don't have to insert the key because it has been still 10
Oh,
minutes.
it's still active.
Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. This didn't create a link. You actually just exited it here. The runes on there, Zeos, I should mention, are not glowing.
Okay.
Gar, as you go back up to the doorway, it being the only doorway that you could use for this purpose, you slowly, over the course of 10 minutes, forgot that would also take time.
It does
it's a 10-minute
take 10
cast
minutes
time.
to activate.
Yep. Over the
we should have
course
thought this through.
of 10 minutes, you gently move the key over the entirety of the archway, the doorway, and these runes begin glowing. At the end of it, finally, when you reach the final rune, they all flash with this arcane energy, and this almost ripple within the air itself forms across the doorway.
So it's been 25 minutes, and we told them if we're not back in 5.
At the end
Tell
of
the girls
5
to go on
minutes,
without me.
May and Laren, about 5 minutes pass by after your conversation, and Gunther joins you guys in your rooms. Miss, we were told to tell you all that if your compatriots were not back within 5 minutes, to go on without them. I am not certain of what this means, but I do not question my orders. From outside, they have left the mansion in search of whatever might lie beyond the door.
I have to put my armor on.
Of course, my apologies. I shall knock next time. It is difficult. This mansion has been, well, sort of
Is
like...
it urgent, I suppose, is more of my question, because it's gonna take me. Like,
They did not tell me. They simply said to continue on without them. I'm unsure of what this means. It was not said with a whole lot of urgency within his voice, though, so I assume you should have a few minutes for such things.
Rachel, you're muted.
Yeah.
want to like insight check Gunther though?
Sure.
To see how good he is at like, or I guess it's not insight, but just notice how well he detects other people's emotions. Given
Sure.
that his
He has
demeanor.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Damn.
Okay. Oh, it actually would be made with disadvantage.
Oh you're right.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Unfortunately disadvantage, but it's still enough. You can tell from what little bit you know of Gunther, he appears to be a man that states emotions rather than showing them. He's stating their emotions, or at least their intent. He seems well enough to at least have discerned whether or not they would have told him it was urgent.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm gonna get into my armor then. I'll be back in 10.
We'll be back in 25.
No, isn't that not backwards, Joel? 2.5 minutes passing on the material plane, 5 minutes would pass in the... See,
You said it was twice as fast, Joel. Now you're confusing me!
Wait, it is backwards.
You're right. So
just assume they're...
Time would go faster.
Yeah, you're right.
For you
So
guys.
if we took 25 minutes out there, it would have been
No,
50
you guys-
minutes there.
No, you guys took 12.5 minutes out
Yeah.
there, which means 25
Yeah.
minutes passed in the manor because you get more
Okay,
done
we
in the
took
manor.
12.
So it wasn't backwards, Joel.
No, that's correct.
I thought you were saying we took 25 minutes
No.
out there, so it would have been
I'm
like
getting rid of
almost an hour there.
No, you're fine. But at the end of about 25 minutes for you guys in the manor, depending on if you're doing anything with that in particular.
Were you trying to say anything? Rachel?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys eventually end up making your way back through the doorway, passing through one by one. It's a weird feeling. It almost feels like your being itself ripples as you go through. I don't know how to describe it exactly. You feel the ripple, though. You feel like if whatever this thing is that Gunther and Eleanor have described that you weren't planeswalkers, this would have a different effect on you.
So we all come in. Are they waiting by the door or?
Right.
I don't know. Okay, it's gonna take me.
You'd have enough time to don
So
your armor.
are they coming in literally like 25 minutes after?
20 minutes after, because Gunther waited
20
5.
minutes after. Okay. So yeah, I'd put on my armor and then like walk down the stairs. But if they're not at the door, I'd be going through the door because that's what Gunther said.
You can exit fine. Oh, wait, well,
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I thought it left it open for like
10 minutes.
I don't know.
No, actually, you know what? I'm going to have to retcon that one portion, because you don't need the key to leave. So you wouldn't have had to insert it on your side of the manor. That's my bad. So you could leave if you wanted to.
I mean, that is what Gunther said, that they were on the
He
other
did
side
say
of
it,
the
yeah.
door.
So, Gar, in the process of you inscribing runes on this door, standing right in front of the doorway where the runes are, suddenly you're hit square in the chest, not with a lot of force, but by May running into you, exiting the doorway.
Why am I running?
Or, like, walking into you.
We're under attack.
May, you walk out on the other side, and you don't have dark vision, and neither does Garb.
No,
Well,
I don't.
I have
Garg got my
you do have the goggles on. You see just a little bit of moonlight coming from the other side of the room, but you run into a large figure, scaly in feel. Just like
yelling, we're under attack.
yelling, we're under attack.
Well,
Make me.
okay, as soon as I hear Gar's voice.
Yeah. No, you're awake
But-
enough to know that's Gar's voice.
If I was going to attack you, then obviously we'd enter a different world.
You startled me, May.
You startled me. I didn't expect to walk out the front door and into someone.
Laren, I assume you were
someone to walk
following.
out the front door.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
All of
gonna
a sudden,
spend
in the middle of you
another
guys
10 minutes
talking,
redoing-
Laren bumps into May, who again bumps into Gar as you guys form this sandwich of people exiting the doorway.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Great, we don't even have to go back then.
Well,
guess we don't, really.
Unless someone wants to
we
eat.
should probably go back to like.
Yes, I would love to eat.
Yeah.
We have rations.
Well, but if we're this close to the manor, would it be best to use the rations that we should use when we don't have access to this?
I mean, it'd take me, I assume, another 10 minutes.
Did it interrupt it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have
interrupted,
interrupted it. Take another 10 minutes.
Yep.
I mean, the 10 minutes is probably worth it to go back, eat. You know, time only passed half of that.
Have a fast.
Why do you
Time passes faster there, so we could eat.
Okay, just open the door. I'm just gonna
take us
keep
half
looking
the
around
amount of
here.
time to eat there, then come back. Yeah.
I'm deeply investigating everything because I'm bored of just sitting. So I'm investigating the whole room.
Well,
Would you like some light?
make me an investigation check.
I can see in the dark.
Well-
I'm fine.
May can't.
Well, you can give her a light then.
It's everything. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Ooh, yeah. Mavis, pretty quickly, you identify the condition of this room. Utter ruin. The stone itself is cracked. There's sections where plants are growing up through the dirt in between the stone, where it must have all been one piece before. Looking out to towards the right side, on the right side of where this wedge taken out of whatever this place is begins, you can see a section, the same one that Gar spotted, leaving this place, probably about a 2-foot wide segment that you can use to exit the vines. But beyond that, there's nothing of interest in this room. This room has... I mean, I will say you see some remnants of incredibly old, rotted wood. Maybe it used to form furniture or something at some point. Probably fell with whatever fell away with this wedge.
Gotcha. Okay. Then after that, I sit my ass down, very frustratedly.
What's the overall architect feel? Is it like dwarven? Is it elvish? Human?
Make me...
Draconic?
This interesting. This would be a history check, right? To be able to determine, because I know dwarves get advantage on history checks with stone.
Sounds like a Zeos check.
I mean, you automatically succeed, or
I don't even know if would I even know what other races' architecture looks like?
Yeah,
I don't
you'd
know
saw
half the races.
you'd seen a little bit of it in Stoneworth, dwarven architecture, and gnomish.
So 3.
I make a history check.
If you're
If I'm
looking for
making
the
a
same
history
thing.
check, what do I get? Normal history check?
Yeah, you get normal.
Okay. Fuck.
Man,
So bad
yeah,
rolls.
that's
7 to 3.
surprising.
An
With
8.
I'll say Zeos, the one thing that you kind of get from this, because of your research into it and its location, with this being where the doorway exits to, this probably is a ruins from the First Age. You have seen many an expedition come back from digs of places like this or exploratory missions. You know that they're very old. Very rare that you even find anything intact. In fact, it's a bit of an occasion when people come back with an artifact or something from the First Age.
Speaking of that, actually, I'm gonna take note of the flooring.
Okay.
What does the floor look like specifically?
Stone, like
So-
base level.
Can I tell like rooms, like where? Because normally, even with ruins, you can normally tell like there was a room here, there was a room over there. type of thing.
This looks like a single room, probably about 20 feet by 20 feet.
Is the portal door like right in the center of this room?
A little bit back towards the back wall of what this would be, but it is centered.
What I'm gonna do then, do arcanic runes and symbols that are drawn give off any any magic glow? I'm trying to think.
Unless it's active.
Right.
Okay.
There are some that could even be active.
Doesn't matter. I still don't have like detect magic or any of that for some dumb reason.
Just
Just
a good point from
'cause
Zeos.
fucking sorcerers are so limited with magic, which is the dumbest shit in the world. It's like you can do magic without anything, but you have no access to any magic.
Yeah, unfortunately, even with like wizards in the type, poor Bit has to deal with this as well, and Nick, you have to prepare spells. So you have an entire list of spells that say, "Hey, you could pick me," but you really can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, and Nathan
But
too.
you have the option to change it out and be like, you know what?
Yeah.
This would be more useful. Where I'm like,
rather be
I
useful.
leveled up. Maybe I can actually think of what something's more useful for my spells.
But that's what you gather from the room.
So, okay, what I'm going to look for is see if there's any teleportation circles in this room on the floor.
Oh, okay. I'll just take your Arcana. Well, actually, no, this is a new one, and this would be Investigation, not Arcana. Go ahead and make me an Investigation check.
Investigation.
Ba-da-da-da.
It's no forte.
So the first thing you notice is that given the state of this room, it doesn't look like there's a section of flooring that's actually even wide or large enough square footage to be able to hold a teleportation circle, and you don't see any remnants of rooms whatsoever.
You said it was 20 feet.
Yes, but the way that the floor is entirely broken
broken
up, you
up.
know what I mean? There's no flat section
okay,
of floor that could be solid
Well-
enough to hold it. There's no remnants of runes even besides that, though.
Yeah, what I'm just looking for is see if there's remnants of what could have been a teleportation circle that might have linked to
Yeah,
the
that makes sense.
manor.
So.
I didn't even see that.
Who did it? Who put Tater out there?
Where is it?
All the way to the upper left. If you scroll out, it's like not like as far as you can go, but it's just go upper left from floor one.
Spectator.
Yeah. Oh, it's spectator.
Yeah, that's the spectator's cursor. I don't know why it shows there.
I thought someone just put the word Tater out there.
Tater.
Tater.
Oh my god.
We got the carrots and the
I
taters.
was like, where are you talking? That's so far out that I've never been zoomed out like that far enough to notice.
Yeah.
I was just wondering. I'm like, did somebody put a message out there? And then, sure enough, Tater. What's Tater's precious?
Exactly.
Even if we were to draw a line, it would disappear in the blank. So like, if I drew that line, you can't see that whole line.
No.
Even though this line is freaking ginormous, the chunkiest.
So yeah.
Nothing. Okay.
Unfortunately, nothing. Yeah, it doesn't look like this is the location where one of them would have been. And thinking about it, it wouldn't have made much sense for it to be.
It wouldn't have, but.
But it's
who the
fair
fuck
point to check. Yeah.
Mavis,
As he's
So
exploring
the other
the
thing
room.
then, after taking note of the door, never mind.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna do for right now.
Well, all of you.
Stop making me zoom into your faces.
Sorry.
Oh, you can uncheck that.
Yeah, I unchecked that so fast. It's in your
Where is
settings.
it?
Uncheck Panda
Yeah.
token speaker.
Pan the token speaker. Okay. Like I like it, but I also hate it because it's kind of
Yeah.
inconsistent.
Yeah, I don't care for it
Really
too
enough?
much.
At
But
that door,
the,
come and
the thing
go.
for me is just like I have my map off to the left and my journals to the right. So like you
Gar.
talk and everything gets zoomed over there. I'm like, ah.
Gar's just slowly. He looks like he's towards the latter portion of it.
As long as no one else opens the store, we'll be fine.
Why?
Gunther just pokes his head out.
Good evening, sir.
Sounds like you.
I thought we were gonna roll
It
this.
explodes.
If you guys are heading back to the mansion, Gar, for the sake of it, you yeah, it does explode. You finish off the runes on the doorway. Each of you make your way back through the manor one by one.
Okay, so while he's doing that, are there new runes appearing on the door?
The runes themselves appear to be just regaining their glow, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can't control where we pop out then of this thing.
Well, it seems to be that one spot right now, anyway. I don't know if it's always going to be that if we don't designate a linked zone, but I guess it would have to have a default.
True.
Well, we
So
could always test to see if it comes back out here. You never know; it might pop out somewhere else.
True.
And we don't even know where here is.
Eggs?
That is also true.
Eggs sound good?
Eggs?
Breakfast.
I'll take some breakfast.
Is anybody cooking in particular, or are you letting Eleanor?
No,
do
I'm
the
letting
cooking?
Eleanor know.
She did a great job.
Okay. Everybody sits down to a really good home-cooked meal of eggs, exactly as everybody requests them to be, toast if requested.
Why is there a dick?
Hell yeah. It's so good.
What? What? Please,
Didn't you-
somebody clip
Weirdest
that.
response.
Didn't you say eggs Benedict?
No, he said, why is there a dick?
Oh!
Hell yeah.
I heard eggs Benedict!
I said eggs Benedict, and then right after TJ said, "Why is there a dick?" And then you said, "Hell yeah!"
That was with so much force, too. Oh, yeah.
I love eggs Benedict, what can I say?
Oh, TJ's gone.
Oh man.
Oh my god. I'm crying.
That was the best.
And that's where we're gonna end this session.
Not quite. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Man. So, you finish off any meals for the day. Eggs Benedict prepared exactly as you would like.
That's great.
The day is yours. As
Oh god.
it probably
Whoever
took
put
about
that there just made gold.
I know who it
I know
was.
exactly who it was.
Okay, so now we traverse to see where it actually sent us, right?
Yes.
And if it actually sent us to the same place?
So if we went through, came back, it was probably about like 1-ish. We started eating. It's probably been what, like half an hour. So it's like what?
Noonish? You were saying?
No, midnight.
No, it was midnight when we got up.
Oh, yes.
And then we did things, and then we were
Was
out
it actually,
there
like-
until like
it was like
1 a.m.
midnight, early portions of
So it'd be like
the night
what,
itself.
1:30, 2?
probably. No, with the way that everything's passed, just past 1, I would say.
Just past 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Given the
Okay.
way that everything is gone.
I feel like it's too late in the material plane to really do anything. I mean, we can explore in the darkness, but
Yeah. We might as well wait until morning, because
It's exactly what I was recommending when we started this whole venture, and then we said, no, let's see what's out there. And now we're not going to see what's out there? So you tell me I could have been working this whole time.
we know that it's safe out there at least.
Yes.
We could have figured that out in 5 hours. I'm going to go get to work.
Well, by my estimations.
At him as he walks away.
Make a dexterity check.
I want to try to catch it.
If you want to, make me a dexterity saving throw, I guess. Because this is something you're reacting to, so.
What are we reacting to?
I don't even get it close to him. Like,
As you throw it, it does that thing that paper does, where it like turns in the air and just
Airplanes.
flops. Yeah. Mavis, you reach out for the toast and it just falls on the ground like 5 feet from you.
butter side down, of course.
Of course.
What is that down again? Yeah, I just turn and walk.
Eleanor
upstairs.
chimes up.
By my estimation, if I'm not mistaken, it should be about another 12 hours in here before it's, well, light outside.
Well, that gives me a lot of time to work on some stuff.
Yes, there are times where it's
okay.
convenient for the for the time difference here. At least never for us. For us, it was, well, just a lot of waiting. But I can see where there would be times where it would be
my
convenient.
Fucking god, it's been like double the amount of time for them then.
That's true.
Gosh.
Like 2,000 years.
Yeah, that'd
Where's
be
not
right.
the opposite? Is it opposite?
No,
I
'cause-
time.
Time
Time never. It just doesn't.
Think of it-
It just does not
It's twice
compute.
as fast.
Think of it like you have more time in the half world.
Yeah. So, we're so like as you spend time here, to them it'd be like 1,000.
Yeah.
So to them it'd feel like 1,000 years because they've always been here. It's the time they feel. But to us out there, time if we spent
It would've been
1,000 years
500.
here, it'd be 2,000 years out there.
It'd be 500.
Yeah.
It'd be five? Oh, I'm getting it
That's what I'm
backwards.
saying.
Yeah.
Shit, I am getting it.
I was actually right, and I wasn't
Yeah.
confused
It's
for no
been
reason.
500
So
years in the
if you-
material plane for them.
500 years has passed. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, but he's right. They would have spent over 2,000 years here.
No.
No,
How long has
well,
it been since the first age?
oh, 1,000 years.
Outside, 1,262 years. Because if you,
Yeah.
Okay, so I was right. You're getting me confused.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Yeah.
myself confused.
Yeah,
in
so
the
they've been here
Welcome
2,400
to the
years, to their own
half-world.
knowledge, at least.
Yeah.
the half world is a weird place. Joel and I came up with weird properties for
You
it.
didn't learn about time in Lindsay's campaign? Come on, man.
Yeah, fair.
I'm spending the
Okay,
next
so-
question mark amount of time. I'm just working on it.
Okay.
After,
since
so
you
we've
guys
eaten
are-
breakfast, so we'll come back together at dusk then? In the material plane time?
Dawn.
Dawn, sorry. Wrong. Fuck time, man. No wrong with it.
Yep. Yep.
Dawn. We meet in 12 hours.
At dawn, we ride.
So it appeared that
I'm gonna look down at my armor.
it appeared
Eleanor.
that we were nowhere near spires.
Well, we don't know yet. But Eleanor, can you chime a bell throughout the mansion when it's, I guess, dawn.
I suppose I could, yes.
When it's dusk. So we know, we have an idea.
And it's the early stages of getting close to noon.
So basically, chime a bell at 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. Thank you, churches. That's literally what they do. Church outside our house.
That's right.
Yeah.
When we were there, we heard it.
Noon and 6 p.m.
I remember that.
I could
And
do
then
that,
if
yes,
it's
if you would
Sunday, they
like.
ring it all morning long.
I mean, I suppose I could always knock on the door as well, if you'd prefer more personal.
Well, I was just wondering if there could be a chime or something, but if not, that's fine. Just
Well,
just come gather us when it's time,
of course.
in case we get too distracted.
I'll do that as soon as it's time, then.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you for breakfast.
Oh, was it satisfactory? Was it? Like I said,
Yes,
it's been a
my,
long time since
Eggs
I've.
Benedict was great.
Noon is 22 hours. Joel.
It was delicious. Thank you, Eleanor.
I appreciate it greatly, and I'm gonna get up and go upstairs.
Okay.
I'm
I'll
not
just
gonna-
chilling for the next 12 hours.
I'm debating on what I want to do.
I was down to do it.
There's 3 things I want to do, and I don't know what I want to do.
But if you're giving me 2 options, then I'm picking this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else pressing if we don't want to explore at night. So
It's true.
I had no problem exploring at night.
I got a ball full of light. We can explore at night. I can
Sounds
send
like
it
a
to
poem.
follow you wherever you like.
It's a great poem.
Good
10 out of
clear
10.
poem. I gotta make it.
That's on my mixtape, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So what's everybody doing so that I have an idea?
All right. I think we're just gonna do our own things for the next 12 hours, I guess.
Just sort of pastime.
Yep.
Okay.
Got some time to kill.
that's gonna fuck with us so bad.
Uh-huh. There are some
Very
advantages
helpful.
and disadvantages to the half world.
With all this time to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's,
We,
I mean, if we spend 12 hours awake doing nothing really, and
We're
then
gonna be
head
tired.
out there and want to explore at first light, we're gonna get what 4 hours of doing stuff before it's like, all right, well,
We're
I'm
tired.
tired.
yep.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that's true. It's gonna be tricky.
But also, if we, we rest here, because of, oh my god, even if we upgrade the rooms, it takes 6 hours then,
Mm-hmm.
which is gonna even screw with it even more. So if we come here, we rest, we go back out.
Basically,
Because
3
in
hours.
6 hours,
Yeah.
it'd be 3 hours out there. So
wouldn't
we'd be fully
be-
rested to go out.
We wouldn't be by any normal clock out there. I mean, we are just gaining time. We just might do more adventuring at night, which I need to make another pair of goggles, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Googaloos. And if you make another pair of
Googaloos.
goggles, then I really don't need the drift,
Drift
orb,
orb.
which then we can sacrifice into the house.
Sacrifice it to the house!
True.
Oh, no.
What just happened?
Well,
Something happened between those. I'm guessing she either rolled a nat 1 or a nat 20, and I'm gonna go with the nat 1.
Warmer. Yeah.
Warmer.
Okay, so with that in mind, the rest of you guys are killing time.
Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna go downstairs and make copies of all the teleportation circles.
Sure. You
I
have the time
suppose
for
I
it.
could do that in 12 hours.
Yeah. Okay. You definitely can.
Actually, how long would that take me to do?
Make me an Arcana check.
Oh boy.
This is pertaining to arcane magics in particular, so that would make sense. Whew! You managed to do it in half the time, meaning you have even more time to kill.
6 hours. All right. After copying them all,
actually, you rolled a natural 20. Like,
yeah, I'm just copying.
just writing, just copying all of the symbols themselves down. I would think it'd take you like
4 hours.
3 hours.
3.
Yeah, there's
Sweet.
8 of them. Yeah, 3 or 4.
All right, I made copies of all of them, which is good. After that, now I gotta think. I have so much more free time than I realized.
Okay, Gar.
I'm gonna whisper what I'm gonna do.
Sure.
I'll let everybody know that if they need me, I'll be in my room.
All right. So Gar heads to his room. May heads to her room. Laren, you can do whatever you please because you have a lot of time.
Yeah, I would go to the room with the piano and spend
Okay.
some time in there.
Sure. Okay. Anything in particular you're doing there?
Trying to catch the ghost that's playing it.
Yeah. No, I'm doing the thing I messaged you earlier. I'm just chilling.
Okay. Sweet.
Like Mary had a little lamb.
TJ.
Yes.
Okay.
Make me another Arcana check. 12 hours, for lack of a better way to put it. Okay. Sure. I'll
Another
wait and see what
round?
happens here first. Yep, just Arcana check for me. Okay. It becomes like Swiss cheese.
Ooh.
So sad. Went from such a good one to such a bad.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'd be doing this over like
Laren.
because it took me 3 hours, so I'd be doing this over the next 9.
Yeah, Zeus, you hear
So-
the occasional, even with your intensive study, you hear the occasional flute sounds coming from the living room.
Living room.
Yep. You said you were in the study, right?
No, my
Yes.
study.
Oh, I misread it. You would not hear that at all.
Oh, I thought I was in the study.
Gotta
No,
study
you're in
this
you're
guy.
in the living room.
That was my bad. I answered that question. That was my bad.
Oh, you're fine. So
No.
that's what
Well,
happens
study.
there. At the end of 12 hours, you guys all eventually reconvene.
I don't know if you want me to make one Arcana check for that or like multiple throughout that time.
Given the fact that you don't actually have access to this magic yet, this is kind of one for all of it to even experiment. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of the way that'll work. But you guys all make your way out. With the exception, I don't know, maybe not exception. It's your call.
Who are you looking?
I'll be there.
Oh.
I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as I get told. That's that time I'd come out.
We
Sure.
heard the ding.
Yeah, you would, actually. They'd be able to do that. That's basically the equivalent of a minor illusion being used for sound. So, you all eventually hear a ding. You come out of your rooms.
I might need help with that, Josh.
Yay! I take it back. Almost all of you come out of your rooms. If that's legit, Gar is not out here yet.
Laren, where are they?
Oh, are we together? I'm
Unless you've told me you do something else.
Am I the only one?
I mean, yeah. If Mavis is alone, I'll be out there with you.
Okay.
If I see that guy's not there, I'll go knock on his door. That's open. Did you mean to leave it open?
Yep. Door. Oh wait, hold on.
Oh, I thought it was like perfect switch. I was like, damn, we're about to have a sentimental moment between May and Gar. Let's go.
Right? I don't.
Mavis, I'm not quite sure. I suppose they're still getting ready.
What about Zeus? You seen him?
I haven't.
Be down there. Sorry, I need to bring my character from the dining room over.
Oh, I have seen
Oh,
He's
we're
right there.
we're just out in the hallway upstairs. Yeah, you're chilling
He's
up.
upstairs?
You're just
Okay.
peeking at us on the stairs right now.
that makes
I was still on the first level, so I was like, I assumed by when they rang us, we'd be down there.
Did you guys say? You'd probably be upstairs. That's fine.
Okay, I'm
For
gonna
the
go
sake
see
of this,
what's
you
going
guys
on
are all up here.
over here.
Make it easy.
so
You
we're
make
up
your
here
way
now.
into Gar's room. May, you don't see
Can I
him in
like
there anymore.
knock on the door for you and be like, Gar?
Gar, make me a con save.
Oh.
I'll give him what I have.
Wait, where's Gar?
You guys don't know. You haven't seen him. Okay, you're fine. You haven't woken up.
Feeling seasick?
I had a feeling you were in there.
You guys
Not in
peek
there.
in to the bathroom, and you see Gar passed out on the chair of one of the vanities, a fishing pole in hand, and the other end of it just draping into the bathtub. There are no fish in this bathtub whatsoever.
That's how you think.
No, this is the worst way to
Wait,
fish.
wait, hold on. Is he Gar passed out, you said?
Yeah, currently.
I'm gonna use him.
Rule.
Little bits of draw.
I'm going to cast my mage hand and pull on his fishing line. I can pull 5 pounds worth.
Yeah, you can.
Meanwhile, I'm walking up to the bathtub to see if there's actually any fish in there.
Not a fish in sight, but you do
Like
see
fake
Oh, no.
fish.
no fish, but you do see a purple spectral hand begin to appear as you look back and see Zeus controlling it.
That would probably wake me.
Yeah, almost like reactive instinct, Gar. You start reeling.
I whip back so whoever's in range.
Just like pandemonium. Water splashes all over the room, falls onto the floor. And
I put May on accident. She's looking over the table.
If I hit, am I gonna die here?
I assume you took a step back when you saw the mage hand, but if not, make me a dexterity save.
The way you described it, I didn't have time.
No.
Yeah, it'd be pretty close, especially with how tired you are, actually. Make me a dexterity
Yeah,
save.
I don't think I can. I'm
It'd be
gonna
all three at
die.
once.
Dexterity.
Yep.
This is
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Good enough. As you, just at the last second, you see Gar flinch as he wakes up. You pull out of the way as this hook flashes past your face, almost like in slow motion with how tired you are right now. And
in the name of Elmater.
Gar, it takes you a second. You look at the end of the rod expectantly, and you just see a purple spectral hand just chilling there.
I like take a deep breath, and you can see frost starting to coalesce as I'm staring at Zeos.
Off to the side, he is the
I'm
last
just like
little bit.
leaning against like the door frame and going. Grin on my face.
Is it
That's what
time?
you'll be learning if you talk to Gar. You'll be learning something much more exciting if you talk to me about fishing.
I'm sure they're both great in their own ways.
Gar, it went ding, and you weren't there.
I
Apparently you
was
were fishing in your bathtub.
It's better than fishing in the chamber pot.
Find a turd in the chamber.
You actually got something there.
That's a good point. I can't even argue that. You turn around and you see Gunther waiting there. There are no fish in there, sir.
Yes, I'm aware.
Very well. Just wanted to be entirely positive. We could put some fake fish in there. They would not, of course, swim around like normal. They would probably be made of wood. They would not float either.
That's actually not a bad idea. Fake
What
fish.
floats?
If it gets caught, it explodes.
It explodes.
I suppose
Yeah.
it would float, wouldn't it?
Some wood's buoyant.
Yeah.
Right.
It all depends on the wood.
Let's leave. Let's
True.
go.
Are you sure you're well enough to go? You don't want to fish for any more?
Will you just walk off a short pier?
Let's be long here to me.
As I'm walking with Gar, I ask him, Gar, is this a regular thing?
What? Walking off a short pier?
And no.
Fishing in bathtubs.
Have you been fishing in your bathtub?
No, I had time to kill. I got bored.
Okay.
You guys all make your way downstairs.
Will you stop? Will you walk in a straight line, Aaron?
What does May actually look like? Does she look beaten or just
Make a perception
extremely
check
tired?
for me. Make a perception check for me.
Self-flagellation gone wrong.
She's got like black eye and
Mavis, you can tell
Meg
pretty
gone wild.
quickly because of the nights that you've spent up when you've been chasing an invention or a new idea. This is just fatigue. This is extreme fatigue from lack of sleep. You can see dark circles under May's eyes. She's kind of walking a little bit more sluggish than normal.
12 hours. Why didn't you try to sleep more?
You know, May,
Got the night.
you can get a change
I
of bed
don't
that
know. Why
was not
didn't I
comfortable.
try to sleep more? What a concept. What a concept.
You know, May, if that mattress is not comfortable, I'm sure they could probably change it out for you.
We could change the mattress out, yes,
I
if you
feel like
desire.
she's just worried that you're gonna explode her room with your invention.
Oh, no, not. I don't have enough time for that yet.
Yet.
Not
Yet.
even going to
So
consider
we know
myself
his
with it
invention
anymore.
isn't going to involve explosions. That's good.
Yet.
Yes. Yes. True. Yeah.
Are you well enough to adventure, or are you going to be an encumbrance?
Ooh.
I will be fine.
insight check.
Sure.
Our energy.
Go ahead and roll to me,
is a
May.
Thing in this world.
I don't.
Yeah. Can I get a monster or a Red Bull?
I don't really know what this is,
Can
actually.
we give her wings?
Okay.
This is more to, like, also me looking at her to see, can I determine even that she looks well enough to do anything? And is she lying to me?
Oh, shit.
Damn. Okay. Mavis, you don't detect any lies. Based on all this, she looks like she's ready to go.
I want to looking to get that mattress changed.
We could change the mattress. Is there anything wrong with it?
Yes, yes, of course. We want to make sure that you're getting all the sleep that you can. They should have been properly, well, softened to your liking.
The mattress is fine.
Oh,
What's the problem?
I'm a terrible sleeper. That's all.
Is that a skill that you can be good at? I didn't know.
Maybe it's probably best to leave it for now. She'll be
You know
alright.
something. Okay. Alright.
Nick.
So you guys all make your way downstairs. One by one, you open the door leading into this white threshold. You pass through. Damn it, Jess. You pass through, and you step out onto the other side. Now, bits of sunlight illuminating through. Bits of sunlight illuminating through the previously moonlit vines. You can see now, you hear more birds chirping about. This room is now more thoroughly lit. You can see the whole thing clearly. A small 20 by 20 room, probably, with this door at one end, this archway. It was Eggs Benedict. It was Eggs Benedict.
Okay, so I just missed like the last 5 minutes. What happened?
Basically, you
We went out the door.
yeah. You guys make your way outside. You can spot very easily now that pathway off to the right side of the room, probably about 2 feet wide.
Any new noises?
Make a perception check.
I'm gonna make another investigation check around the area to see if I noticed anything I did last time.
Sure. Ooh, Mavis. Mavis, it's difficult to tell. Nothing really comes to you. Zeos, with that investigation check, you can tell you did a thorough investigation of this last night. And with your dark vision, it wasn't much of an issue. So, unfortunately, you don't find anything new.
Okay.
Gar, there are almost guaranteed no new sounds here. Except for maybe more birds.
Said almost guaranteed, so...
Yeah, like, I guarantee you that you don't hear anything, as of right now, that sounds alarming in any way.
The way you're saying it is alarming me.
Take that for what you
Yeah,
will.
they're supposed to sound that way.
It's true.
Well, do you want to lead the way, leader?
You go to keep...
Well, maybe.
Are we in the ocean?
I guess we'll make a
Are
deal.
we in the ocean?
What?
All of my tokens are in the ocean.
Were we before he actually moved us down here?
I didn't even notice we were down there. I zoomed out right away. So I was like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Why are we down here?
What do you guys see?
Do you see
Lead
it?
the way.
Oh, in the bottom right. Oh, that's...
Yep.
You can ignore that.
We're down there. Why aren't we way back up over here? I want to be back in the yo. Oh my god, it takes forever.
Dead. Holy shit.
I am now.
What do you guys do?
I lead the way through the back.
Oh, that's what I have done.
Oh, right. As you...
Yeah, just gonna follow.
Okay. As you exit through these vines, they're very incredibly overgrown. Peeking out on the other side of where you are right now, you find yourselves on the edge of a cliff. This winding path along the side of this cliff continues upward to your right, probably reaching the top of a bluff or a plateau. Staring off, you see an ocean ahead of you. And as you make your way to the top, this is indeed a bluff. Almost like a... What do you describe that as? You know where there's a dramatic raise in elevation that changes into a sheer cliff edge at the end of it? It's kind of like...
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're looking at. Picture... Yeah, I don't really know how else to
We're
describe
looking
it.
at the cliff edge? Like,
No, you're looking at the
face
top
of it,
of, like, you're at the top of this slope that gently slopes
I see.
backward. Yep,
So we're at the peak of it. It slopes this way, but there's a sheer drop off here.
exactly. And just down the slope, where all of these vines have overgrown all the way down, this cliff edge built into the side is whatever room you guys were in. Not visible at all to anybody.
Okay. I don't know if there was like an archway or a doorway. That was
Nope.
like, hey, here I am.
Actually, because of the perception check from Gar, as you exit, as you would have exited the vines, turning back around, on top of, just barely legible through some of the vines, you see etched into the stone the symbol of a harp, which you've come to know as the symbol for Milil.
There's a symbol for Malil there.
Alright, so we at least know we're not in, well, enemy territory.
We're nowhere near the Howling Fjord.
Right, it's not cold.
Does it just seem like normal, like grassy? Or...
It seems, yes, quite grassy. A bright grass. Actually, a familiar grass. As you guys kind of take in your surroundings, you look over and you see, far off in the distance, a river delta. A familiar river delta. Based on your current location, you would have to estimate you're about here.
So it actually did take us back. It took us to Harmony.
Can we see Harmony in the distance?
Yeah.
Make me well, no, you don't even need to make perception checks. Yes, you can see it far off in the distance. It probably looks like, well, not super far off. You can make out the city, so it probably seems like maybe a 3 to 4 hour journey on foot. You're going to have to ignore the scale there, because in order for some of the map's scaling to be correct, I would have to put you like here, which is inside the river delta. Some of it is there for effect, not actual scale.
Okay. Well, that's Harmony.
Very perceptive.
It is.
So I guess you don't need to send a message to Torn for me. If we're this close, we might as well just head there.
Everybody make me history checks.
Oh no.
Where's the sound?
I activated it. I don't think it's working for this version of Foundry yet, so...
This version of Foundry made a lot of changes to their back-end structure, so a lot of modules are going to be broken.
Very much so. Okay. Mavis and Zeos. You kind of think back to your vision of the Memoriam. And you remember remarking that looking at the fields, the meadows that were being shown, and even the city that was there in the Memoriam's vision, it resembled more the area of Harmony in terms of its place in the world, with the brighter grass, the more summer-like feel, rather than northern Aedor. And now it starts to make a little more sense why something like this would be closer to here. Even though it doesn't lead to Harmony directly, as that wouldn't have been there in the first age. This whole region, if the claims are correct about the first note originating from Harmony, would make sense why the door leads here. Even if it's not clear what here is.
Interesting.
Gotcha.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, we can make a door back to it whenever.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we go to Harmony, I can go talk to Torn to see if he's got the letter. We can make a door, head back, and then travel back to where our carriage is, but that's going to be a long walk. Just to get our carriage. Wait,
I could
Gar.
message Chasiana and ask her to bring the cart.
Yes.
Do
a good
Harmony?
option. Did we rent the cart, or did we buy the cart?
We rented,
You rented it for 2
So
weeks.
we had to go back anyways!
for 2 weeks.
You rented it for 2 weeks. Yeah.
I'm assuming the price that we pay for something like that is under the assumption that if we don't bring it back, it's ours, like, right? Like,
We could be potentially
like a
wanted
security
in
good?
Harmony for
right, like
free.
it's like a security type deal.
You
'cause
did have to make a
otherwise-
security deposit, yes.
I
Yeah,
remember that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So we may not have to bring it back.
I could message Chasiana and ask her to bring the cart this way.
Might
And
as well.
It's gonna take her a couple
Why
days
not?
to get here.
Yep.
Took us
It'll be
what,
4
3
days for us. If we spend it in the manor, that is. I can replenish on a few supplies, but other than that, I have no reason to be in Harmony right now.
None of us really.
The biggest thing
That's
is,
something I would want to do.
Chasiana brings back the cart. She would get the money back, which would be our money, because it was down, or however that works.
Well, I mean, she's not returning it, right? She's just bringing it to us so we can take it to Sprockerton, right?
Well, we've had it for a week. Going to Sprockerton and then back here to return it would be longer than a week's travel.
Mm-hmm. But we've paid the deposit. If we don't return it, then it's ours for keeps. And then we have a
Wouldn't
horse and
we-
cart.
Wouldn't we get in trouble with the stable people?
Why? We paid them.
I thought it was just renting, though.
We paid a deposit and the renter's fee.
Technically true.
I
It's the type
I
of
guess
thing.
I don't really understand how that would justify taking it without just buying it. What's the point of renting something if you're going to keep it? Wouldn't you just buy it?
You would get that deposit back, no, right?
Right, if we returned it, but
Yeah.
it's a security thing for them. In case something were to happen to us and we couldn't return it, then they're not out a horse and cart and
We
money.
bring it back, we get a little bit back. Huh. Okay, well, I'll go get some steel, copper, a few other things.
I'm gonna sit
And
down.
I'm just...
All right, Frankie.
So, are you doing anything as far as sending first, or are you heading to Harmony? What's the plan?
Well,
Yeah, I'll message Shasiana. Sending doesn't have, right?
Sending has a
It does.
25 word limit, yeah.
Right. Shasiana, we are okay. We are okay. We are back in Harmony. If you could gather our horse and come back, please. Thanks.
You wait a few seconds. Eventually you hear back in your head,
How the hell did you guys get back to Harmony? I'm already on my way. Probably another 5 days out.
5 days out?
You guys
Where
took
the
three.
fuck did she go?
You guys went 3 days to Teu, and then 3 days from
Uh,
Teu to the Cloud Spires.
So we'd
And
be
only a
2.5
night has passed.
days- So we'd be 10 days in the manor,
Which
would
is
be more than enough time for you to do your stuff.
I can finish it all, baby.
It would give us
be
11
huge.
days to get to Sprocketon.
Which is plenty of
it's
time,
pushing
hopefully.
it.
Laren,
That's
Yes.
pushing it.
make me a nature check. Sorry.
Okay.
I think she's proficient in that. Yeah, let's go.
That'd be pushing it.
While thinking about all of this and just kind of listening,
And we're
something does kind of come to mind. You know that a carriage is slower than if you were to have horses individually. You know that really as long as Chasiana returns the carriage, you don't need to wait.
That's true.
Yeah, but
And you could make up the distance very quickly with horses by comparison, with
Then
5
we'd have to
individual
pay a
horses.
second time though.
You would.
yeah, we'd
That
have
is
to
the
pay money,
trade-off.
and Chastiana would get that money.
Which, to be fair, it was like a 5 gold security deposit, I think.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Well, I don't know how much gold or money we have because
Yeah.
he's got it.
yes.
I'm gonna have to see if I can dive into the data folder
I know
from
we
before.
have a crap ton of platinum, so we could definitely afford a couple horses.
Yeah.
Oh
We
yeah,
got
no,
enough
it wouldn't
money.
be an issue for that. You have the money.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if she's gonna be there there in 5 days or so. Zeus is waiting on a letter, right, to Harmony.
Well, yeah, I'm going back to Harmony no matter what you guys say now, since we're
Mhm.
3 hours out.
Right. And we could wait until Chasiana comes back and we get the money for the carriage, and then we can pay for some horses and get to Sprocketon even faster that way. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we're here now. As you said, we don't have to wait for Chasiana to come back. It is faster. We just travel on horseback. Where we make the door, we
can come back through, right? Like,
You can come back
No.
through within a 10-minute period.
only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Balls.
So
I have to finish
essentially-
this thing first.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are a few options here if you plan it accordingly.
So one thing that we can do, is we're about 3 hours out, so we can make a door in Harmony to come back to this door.
Not to this door. To the door in the manor.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is we go to the manor, we wait 10 minutes, then we exit, then we end up here.
Sure, you could do that.
Assuming that the manor always connects to here right now.
Right.
What does that do for us?
I'm just saying that we could travel faster if we weren't riding horses. If we go
That's
to
true,
Harmony, since we're going to Harmony, made a door in Harmony to go to the manor, and then exited the manor, we'd get here. Essentially teleporting to here from Harmony.
That's
Skipping.
far outside of Harmony.
It's not. I'm just saying.
And that's 3 hours,
Yeah, so
3 or
we need
4
to
hours
bring-
travel by foot.
Here's the
Yeah,
other
we need
problem.
to bring horses with us.
Get a horse through a door.
I'm assuming.
I've seen horses
isn't
walk into people's houses. They can fit through doors.
I'm assuming a horse isn't a planeswalker.
That's a fair point.
That would be a good question.
Yes. Not to
What if we're
mention,
riding
I
the
need a
horse?
war horse.
Oh, that's right. You're massive.
A mastiff.
My body weight plus my carry weight is more than a riding horse can carry.
Oh.
Do they sell war horses at this stable?
Probably.
Did we fit 2 of our members on one horse? We don't have to buy that many.
That's also true.
Also, the cost of a war horse is about 10 times the cost of a riding horse.
Damn.
It's like 400 gold.
Yeah,
Mia.
Dragonborns.
Do they have a car in Harmony? Because you could really use one.
You got a Lamborghini or something?
Actually, yeah.
Ooh, a Lambo. Okay.
A roller.
Okay, so do we all agree that we're heading to Harmony? Because we can talk about this as we walk.
I would like to go.
Okay. So let's
I
at
might
least
as well.
start walking.
Yeah.
I believe we can still make it to Spocketon, Mavis.
All right. So
Short detour.
there's actually some tools that. Oh, thank God we're going back to Harmony. I would have got destroyed for not returning.
We're going
the
back
tome.
to Harmony.
I have to
I
return
wanna
this tome.
go now.
Oh, that's right.
There was there was lots of reasons to return back to Harmony. I have a tome. We have the carriage. We have.
I'm just gonna go.
May just
No.
starts
What do you
gently
think?
walking.
Yeah,
towards
'cause
Harmony.
I
Going towards-
know.
As you begin a track, no horses, no carriage. The 5 of you with Harmony in sight. You don't really need a road, even though there are no roads currently in front of you. That is where we'll end the session for tonight.
All right.
All right.
A little bit of an in-between episode, but that's what I expected it to be.
Yeah. Damn.
Some
Girl.
preparation.
Thick ass boy.
Could I No, I think he's still way more. I was like, can I carry your stuff?
Thank you so much, Identity.
I read that too.
I know.
Oh, actually, didn't I? No. I got 7 pounds off of that. So actually, I could ride a riding horse.
Oh.
Because I put the great axe in the chest in the.
That's
mansion.
true. And
I
technically,
can carry some other stuff.
that's true
Yeah.
too, actually.
I also have a bag of holding.
The other thing is you essentially have mobile storage with you because of the key. You have to take 10 minutes to access it, but you can store anything you want in the manor and just retrieve it and get back out.
I mean, there's nothing else I would drop.
Yeah. All right.
Wait.
So
Why is he me? Identity, I know you too well. All right. Well, thank you guys. Oh my goodness. I was in tears at certain parts of that.
Oh man,
Mainly the dick part.
Me too.
that was hilarious. No, that was a good session though. We got more familiar with our home base.
Yeah, and with each other little by
That was
little.
fun.
Yeah.
And Mavis's secret room.
I don't
Uh,
know.
Please, as such.
14.
Yep.
I will find
Okay,
a
yeah.
catalog.
He
Yeah.
thinks is locked from the others.
It is.
All right. Let me see
I
who
need
we
to
have
message you,
online to
Josh, about
raid.
some things that I want to do.
Yeah, if anybody wants to message me about any changes, I know there's one small change that I'll make to your room, May.
Yeah.
Figure all the goddamn.
This recap is
sound
going to
effects.
be short.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was just checking
yeah.
the rooms.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything really.
It was a lot of getting reacquainted, discussion, planning. Actually, that's the first episode like that. Hey,
Yeah.
we've turned a page. And so we begin.
Mark it off the bucket list.
There you go. Also,
That's the name
I
of the episode,
believe-
turning a page.
I believe you are now officially in the month of Yamia.
I thought it was Yupriya.
Yumia?
Yamia,
Isn't that what,
Yamia.
what's her face called Mjolnir in
Yeah,
That was Mew Mew.
Yamia. Yeah.
Mjolnir?
Oh my god, you're right. Yamia.
We're into a new month.
Is it not Yupriya? Wait, hold up. It's Yamia.
That's what
Why
I
was I
said.
saying Yupriya?
Yprea is
That's
an
an
island.
island
Yeah, in Bits
my
World.
campaign.
Fuck! You haven't been correcting me. I've been saying it for like the past 4 weeks, Josh.
Wait.
Wait.
You've been saying Yamia. I'm like 90% sure.
Yeah,
What
Yupriya.
songs we playing, bitch?
Good session. Yeah.
I'm not updating.
Yeah, I guess
I'm
this has
not-
been a
I'm
good
waiting.
test
Dude, that
run.
was the big thing that I warned Josh about. I'm like, all your modules are gonna break.
Yeah, I had to deactivate like over half of them, but they weren't necessary ones, and I'm actually okay. I had too many in my opinion. So as long as they update to fix some of these base level bugs, and who's knows? I'm brain dead
Yeah.
now. Who knows? Maybe it's some of my modules that are conflicting with like music replaying and things like that. So
Yeah, it's possible that some of the old modules might not be talking well with the new version.
exactly. So well, unless we want to. Wait a minute. When did I follow this person? Well, there's somebody named Dice Cream Sandwich that apparently I followed back in the day because they're streaming some D&D. So we must have raided them in the past.
I mean, I love the name.
We could either do
Yeah.
that or we could raid Mishigatsu.
Oh.
Or we could raid Joka.
Did you just cast a spell on me?
Yeah, Joker.
Yeah, Joka's streaming.
That's
Let's
true.
do
We
that.
haven't read a joke in a while.
Yeah. All right.
I almost just reported
Joking,
you.
you token.
Well, thank you, chat, for joining us on this. I don't know when we'll be back. June is weird. But right now,
June is very weird.
let's assume the 19th, and we'll go from there. I'll have to keep y'all updated for sure. I appreciate you being here, Clappius Chicus, and I love your name. It's amazing.
I'm gonna be honest, that was a shit show.
It was.
But we haven't played in almost a month.
I know.
Yeah.
I expected it to be, but I wasn't wanting to stop it. I want to back off from the more linear feel and go towards player autonomy. So the more I can do that is training for me.
GG's, y'all.
GG's.
GG's.
All right. Copy the raid message in chat while we raid Joka. Show her some love. And I would say be sure to tune in tomorrow, but there is no tomorrow.
I know, right?
Well, I mean, there is a tomorrow.
Ah!
But you can still tune in on Sundays.
That's shit.
Um,
I don't want it. Go away. I don't like any of it.
Wow.
Be sure to tune in Sundays. Oh, man.
That would sound mean.
The world is ending. Oh, no. Yeah. All right, chat. Have a great night, y'all. We love you guys. Stay cute. All that jazz. Peace.
Hey, guys.
Peace you all.